Check, check. Voice okay? Check in stream. Check, check. Is the chat live? Is the chat dead? Can the chat confirm? All right. Okay. Shall we start? Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome again to day 2 of KCET 2026 live from RV Learning Hub. Today we have gathered here finally for the discussion of the papers mathematics and biology. As discussed yesterday, we had done the discussion of physics as well as chemistry paper. Overall, the physics paper was around moderate level, easy to moderate I would say, and chemistry was on the moderate side. Today I have the opportunity to bring to all of you the heads of the departments of biology and mathematics. Biology head of the department Mrs. Savita, and mathematics head of the department Mrs. Radhika. The team and under their leadership they are going to discuss the whole paper of mathematics and biology together today. So madam, how was the paper today? Could you just throw some light on our students?
Very good evening to all of you. Good evening, sir. And finally, we have come to the end of 2026 KCET paper. And let me say that the paper was easy to moderate. And there's a surprise also for us, which I shall be revealing it very shortly. But before that, let me just talk to my mathematics HOD. She seems to be very happy today. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Savita. Rightly said. I'm looking quite relaxed for a change, and there's a reason for it. Our maths CT paper was unusually very student friendly, and we didn't have any surprises or shocks. It was not very lengthy. Otherwise, maths papers are infamously lengthy. This time it was doable within the given time, and it was well within the syllabus. No surprises of out of the syllabus or bouncers. So that way it went on smoothly.
Okay. So I'll leave you both to the discussion of the paper and kindly throw some overview of the paper as well. How were the paper and was there anything out of the syllabus? Was the preparation of our students or the students who have prepared their PU1 and PU2 properly? Could you please just throw some light? I'll leave it on to you. Hopefully today's session would be even more engaging. I want everyone to listen to the solutions and hopefully you have done well in your today's exam. All the best to you. I'll leave it up to both of you.
Thank you, Mithil
All
sir.
the best.
Thank you, sir.
So, Savita, shoot.
Okay, so ma'am, the final weighting has been completed. So
Yes.
you told that your paper was very easy. Very easy, I can use that word, right?
Not very easy. I would say easy to moderate.
Easy to
very
moderate.
easy would make our students become complacent, and they should always be on their toes because you never know the strategy. Each year it's different. This year I would say it's easy to moderate. Next year you don't know, it might get moderate to difficult.
Okay.
So it was a good paper on
Good
the whole.
paper.
I'm sure our students are feeling really confident and happy about their performance.
Definitely, ma'am, because it is a math paper, they should be very happy.
Yes.
And what about the questions appearing from first PUC and second PUC topic, ma'am? What is the percentage or number of questions?
Actually, this year there were a little more questions asked from first year as compared to last year. So it was like 38% from first year and 62% from second year.
Oh.
Versus last year, there was an increase in the first year.
Okay, okay. And how about the paper, ma'am? Like, was it direct formula-based question or they took a lot of time to solve the question? How did the question paper go?
There were quite a few direct questions, formula based, but there were also a good share of application questions wherein it was formula, conceptual and application all put together in one question.
Oh, so
It
it's
was
a good paper.
good paper, yes, definitely.
Okay. So if in future, if paper has to be designed, what do you think the future paper can have? What's your thought about it?
The only thing I can think of is it can get challenging, even more challenging, because this time it was quite direct. So they can't make it anything easier than this. So they're only going to make it tougher if not anything else.
What would be your suggestion for the students who are preparing for this particular year for appearing for the next year? How they are supposed to study the second year and first year? What might be your suggestions?
See, by going by this year's statistics of the number of questions from first year, as we keep telling them in the class, do not neglect the first year. So the race begins right from day one, the minute they step foot into the PU course. So first year should be taken as seriously as the second year, because a good share of questions have come from the first year syllabus.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I do have one question to be asked because my students who I come across, they keep saying, to solve a lot of example sums which is present in the textbook. What do you think about that part?
Now that's a good question, because it reminded me of something else that I wanted to tell students. There were some direct lifts from the NCERT, particularly from the exemplar as you mentioned, and of course from the NCERT exercise. So then back to our old advice to the students, not to leave any stone unturned when it comes to NCERT. Every single problem has to be solved.
So all the question was purely NCRT based and it was more or less direct.
More or less, yes.
Okay, ma'am. That's nice to know because this is the first time I'm hearing that maths paper went really well.
Yes,
So I'm very
yes.
happy for the students also, but it's quite challenging for the upcoming year because it might get tougher.
Yes, that's true. They are not going to keep it the same level, of course. And in turn, Savita, I'm really curious to know what's the fate of the bio students.
Okay.
How have
So-
they fared in today's bio paper, particularly PCMB students, math and bio both on two
Same
heavy
day. Yes,
subjects
ma'am.
on a same day?
So let me just start from physics and chemistry. So we thought the paper will be much difficult. So finally we said that easy to moderate paper was good. And I was expecting maths paper to be easier. I mean, difficult, but it turned out easy. Bio is also 70%, 60 to 70% easy paper itself, ma'am.
In what way you say it's easy? Is it because it was from NCERT, unfamiliar
Yes, ma'am.
questions?
Yes, it was from NCRT. So as we say the students to stick on to the NCRT concept, it was based on NCRT itself. And I did come across two questions which was practical based. So only two questions were practical based and that was actually from botany part. One was
Okay.
about a family and one included with cell division topic. So that was the two practical based questions. So in future the students also have to give importance to the practical part so that they should not be losing scores there.
Okay. If you don't mind, can I ask you a question? Will the students who have prepared for NEET find it an advantage to do the KCET paper with more ease? Or
Yes, ma'am. They have an advantage. So it's like a revision paper that have they completed their study. So if you check the number of questions which is appearing, we can say that 38 questions came from second PU.
Okay.
The remaining 22 came from first year. But in that, what I noticed was, we usually say first PUC botany part is difficult for the students and we make sure the students have to study few topics like plant physiology. But today, surprisingly, photosynthesis topic and respiration topic, there were no questions, zero. And plant growth, only one question. So maybe in the upcoming future, you can have more questions from this particular topic. And the weightage was more related to second PUC topic. And if the students have really completed few of the topic of first year like human physiology part, major questions came from there. Followed with second PUC content, you can include the topic of genetics, evolution, molecular biology. Followed with biotechnology, human health and disease. Good number of questions. But first year, animal kingdom, there was a huge topic. Only one example-based maths following has come. So the students who worked really hard on the major topics,
Were a little disappointed.
yes, very disappointed on that base because even we were in a shock that we could not come across so many questions in most expected topics.
Okay.
So overall, paper was good, ma'am.
Good.
So most
that's
of them,
really nice to hear. So both of us are happy today.
Yes.
So I think to summarize, nothing is really very predictable about the competitive exams, unlike the board exams. So we need to be really well prepared as far as the students are concerned, and it's our job to train them and be ready for the worst. So
I would like to say one more thing.
Yes,
As
ma'am.
we usually say, stick on to your NCRT. go with respect to the practical part, especially in biology, because in future you will have a lot of questions, and solve as many MCQ as possible. So that will be one good advice I could tell for all the students. Read your textbook really well. That is going to help you whether it is KCET or NEET exams.
So we wish you all the best, and I will hand over now to our Associate HOD of the Math Department, who will begin solving the questions of the KCET exam today, and then just unravel how easy it is to solve, provided you're well prepared, of course. Over to Sir Vishwanath, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. And I think hope everybody wrote your examination clearly. And please clarify your doubts with our explanation. Experts are there. They are waiting for your clarification of the doubts. Okay. Shall I start the explanation here?
So one second, sir.
Thank you, madam.
So as the classes goes on right now,
Yeah.
I think students will be engaged watching mathematics as well as biology.
Okay.
So I also wish all the students who are taking up the NEET exam all the best. Do well.
Yeah, madam.
Keep studying. Your efforts are going to be fruitful finally. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, students, please check the first question. Yeah, please see the question. When capital A is equal to A, B, C, D, E, F, then the number of subsets of A which contains at least 2 elements is. This is related to permutations and combinations. Totally there are 6 elements are given. Please check that one. Totally there are 6 elements are given. Out of 6 elements they are telling that at least 2 elements. So that I can take 6C2, 1 minute, 6C2 plus maybe 3 elements or maybe 4 elements or maybe 5 elements or maybe all 6 elements may come. They are given, see here, in the set capital A which contains at least 2 elements. Overall they are given 6 elements are here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of that at least 2 elements means either 2 elements are there or 3 elements are there or 4 elements are there or 5 elements are there or 6 elements are there. This is related to permutations and combinations. Now observe that 6C6 is, I think you know very well, 1, and 6C5 that is equal to 6, and 6C4 you want to calculate 6C4, that is 6C2 only as 6 into 5 by 2 into 1. 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6, that's why that is 15. I think by the permutations and combinations you can calculate, plus 6C3 that is equal to 20 plus 6C2 that is 15. Totally 15 plus 15, 30 plus 20, 50, 50 plus 7 that is 57. So our correct answer is option 3. Option 3. Yet. Next question. Capital A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10 elements are there. Then the number of non-empty subsets of capital A containing only 4, 6, 8, 10. There are 5 elements are there. There are 5 elements are there. But they are telling that the number of non-empty subsets, the number of subsets are 2 power of n, but since they are telling that non-empty, that's why we are going to write that is 2 power of n minus 1. But n is equal to 5, that is 2 power of 5 minus 1, that is equal to 32 minus 1 as 31. So that I think first option is correct. Option number 1 is correct. Next one. This is related to the functions chapter of domains, and you observe that the domain of the function has root of x minus 7 by 9 minus x. And what is the required condition? The denominator cannot be equal to 0. That is the in the fraction the basic condition. So that first basically x cannot be equal to 9. After that the entire square root function is there. The inside function that should be compulsory positive. That is nothing but x minus 7 by 9 minus x greater than or equal to 0. But whenever there is a fraction is positive, then immediately you can say the product of the numerator and denominator, both product should be positive only. That means if you take minus as common here, then minus of x minus 7 into x minus 9 greater than or equal to 0, provided that x is not equal to 9. Please remember this condition always. And after that, if this minus is taken to that side, then that should be equal to x minus 7 into x minus 9 less than or equal to 0. If I am taking minus to that side, by the linear inequalities concept, the symbol will be changing. So finally, that is x belongs to 7 comma 9 by the linear inequalities set. And here they are telling that x is not equal to 9. Whenever x is not equal to 9, that 9 we are going to remove from the given set, so that x belongs to closed 7 to open 9. So that option number 2 is correct. Option number 2 is correct. Please check that one. Next one. Here n of a is equal to 2 and the number of relations from set A to set B is 1024, then what is the n of B? So this is related to relations concept only, relations. But do you know how many relations we can write from A to B? That is 2 power of n of A into n of B. N of A into n of B. That is they are given 2 to the power of 1024. But out of that, n of A is equal to 2, they already mentioned. That's why when basis if you remove here, then immediately n of A is equal to 2 into n of B, that is equal to, this is 1024 means that is 2 power of 10. So that I am writing after bases are removed, n of B into 2 is equal to 5, that is 10. So that 2 ones are 2, 2 5s are 10, so that n of B is equal to 5. So how many elements in the B set is nothing but that is n of B. So that the second option is correct here. Please check that one. They are asking n of B, that is a cardinal number. Next one. Yeah, see here this question. This is related to probability. The probability of at least one of the events A and B occur. So what is this meaning? That is P of A union B. At least one of the events means that you can say as P of A union B as 0.6. Next, A and B occur simultaneously. That is nothing but P of A intersection B. That means both we are going to exist at 0.2. Then finally, they are asking what the P of A complement is to P of B complement. Now, P of A union B by the addition theorem, that is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B, minus P of A intersection B. Bring this negative to this side, so that this is P of A union B plus P of A intersection B, that is equal to P of A plus P of B. Keep this point in mind. By using this particular statement, now we are going to write what is the given question, that is P of A complement plus P of B complement. So P of A complement as 1 minus P of A plus P of B complement as 1 minus P of B. So that this is 1 plus 1 2 minus P of A plus P of B. Already we wrote there P of A plus P of B as that is equal to P of A union B plus P of A intersection B. So finally, if you substitute those values, that is 2 minus P of A union B 0.6 here we wrote already, P of A intersection B 0.2 you wrote here already, so that already given in the question, so that is 2 minus 0.8 as 1.2. Please check that one, where is this option? I think option number 4 is correct. Students are following properly. Please check all the answers with the given question and whatever you wrote. Next one, the maximum value of this particular function. That means this is related to maxima and minima. Maxima and minima. So the basic idea related to the maxima minima of a function, that is nothing but make the given function derivative, it is equal to 0. Then at that particular value either maxima or minima will come by the second order derivative test. Now first of all here sin of x plus pi by 6. What is this derivative? Cos of x plus pi by 6. Next, cos of x plus pi by 6 derivative. What is the derivative of cos x is nothing but minus sin of x plus pi by 6, that is equal to 0. Now if you bring this term to that side, so finally cos of x plus pi by 6, that is equal to sin of x plus pi by 6. So sin and cos both are equal only at 45 degrees. So that x plus pi by 6 is equal to 45 degrees, right? So that x plus pi by 6 is nothing but 30 degrees is equal to 45 degrees, and hence x is equal to 45 minus 30, that is equal to 15 degrees, that is in terms of degrees, but in terms of radians that is nothing but pi by 12. Where is this option? I think option number 4 is correct. Yeah, please, like that is all the questions are given in the basic ideas only, basic ideas of the board level, NCERT level only. Next, after that, see the question number 7. If the angles of the triangle are in AP, generally whenever the terms are in AP, we can take that is A minus D, A plus D, as one is alpha, another is beta, the third one is gamma. But what is the sum of all these angles is nothing but, so here I am writing alpha plus beta plus gamma, that is equal to 180 degrees. Based on that one, alpha as A minus D, beta that is A, gamma that is A plus D is equal to 180 degrees. Now minus D plus D get cancelled, then 3A is equal to 180 degrees, and hence A is equal to 60 degrees. So the middle angle is equal to 60 degrees, that is beta is equal to 60 degrees are there. After that, the next condition they are given, the greatest angle is double the least angle. Now out of these three angles, the greatest angle is gamma, that is a double the least angle, that is alpha. So that gamma as A plus D, that is equal to 2 into alpha, that is A minus D. So that finally 2A minus A, that is equal to A will come, minus 2D taken to this side, plus 3D will come, but already A we got 60 degrees, so that 3D is equal to 60 degrees and D is equal to 20 degrees. D is equal to 20, A is equal to 60. So that these two values are most important. Now they are asking the sine of the third angle. Third angle is nothing but that is A only. So this is the third angle. Already alpha is the greatest angle, gamma is the least angle. Then the sine of the third angle, that is A only. And hence that is sine of A is nothing but 60 degrees. A is equal to 60, so that sine 60 as root 3 by 2. And hence the first option is correct. And hence the first option is correct. Is it right? Just is a mixing concept of the both trigonometry as well as the sequences and series. See the next question number 8 here. This is related to the statistics part. Statistics. Now, please read the question properly. The mean and standard deviation of 100 items, so that n is equal to 100. After that, the mean they are given 50 and standard deviation they are given as 4. But what is the mean formula? So mean mu is equal to, that is sigma xi by n. So that is equal to sigma xi by n is nothing but 100, that is equal to mean is equal to 50 they are given. So that is equal to 50. By cross multiplying 100 here, sigma xi is equal to 5000. Yeah, this is the sigma xi. From the mean we got sigma xi value. After that, standard deviation. What is the standard deviation? That is nothing but sigma. So sigma is equal to square root of, what is the formula? Sigma xi square by n minus mu square. But if I write whole square here, so sigma is equal to, they are given as 4, so that 4 is equal to, this is the root of sigma xi square by n as 100 minus mu square. Mu is equal to, that is they are given 50, so that 50 whole square we are writing. So now they are asking sum of all the squares of the items they are given. That means sigma xi square is equal to, what is the sigma xi square they are asking. For that, if you write whole square on both sides, so 4 square is equal to 16, and on the right hand side, that is sigma xi square by 100 minus 2500. Now from this one, bring this minus 2500 to this side, so that is sigma, that is xi square by 100 is equal to, that is 2516. Now by cross multiplying 100 here, so finally what is the sigma xi square is equal to, that is a 2516 00. That means 2,51,600. 2,51,600 in the second option is correct. Second option, right? So that this is a question, simple question regarding the basic statistics part only. Next, the question number 9 is related to the probability of the that is first year only actually. Now the probability of occurrence of event A, that means P of A is equal to, that is 1 by 2 they are given. Similarly, and that of B, that is a P of B is equal to 3 by 10. And moreover, A and B are mutually exclusive. What is the meaning of mutually exclusive? Is nothing but A intersection B is equal to empty. Whenever A intersection B is equal to empty, then we have P of A intersection B is equal to 0. Right. Then what is the probability of the occurrence of the neither A nor B? So whenever P of A you know, P of B you know, P of A intersection B you know, then what is the P of A union B is equal to P of A 1 by 2. I am multiplying 5 here divided with 5, so that I can write 5 by 10 plus P of B 3 by 10 minus P of A intersection B 0 only. So that by adding 5 plus 3 8 divided by 10. So that is nothing but 4 by 5. But this is not our answer. But what they are asking the question, the occurrence of the neither A nor B, neither A complement, nor B complement. Right. By this P of A complement intersection B complement we can write, that is a P of A union B whole complement, and hence that is P of 1 minus P of A union B. That is the 1 minus, already P of A union B wrote as 4 by 5, and hence finally 1 by 5. So that where this is option as 1 by 5, as a fourth option is correct. Option number 4. This is a question number 9. Next. Please go through this one more idea. R be the relation. So this is related to relations part, and where this is a basic question only, as ordered pair A comma B such that A is equal to B minus 2, where B greater than 6. Now this is A, this is a B, but here B is equal to 4, which is less than 6. That's why first option is directly you can say wrong. Next, second option, A and B. But what is the relation between A and B? A is equal to B minus 2. Please verify the option that's it to time saving purpose. A is equal to 3, that is equal to B, 8 minus 2, that is equal to 6. So 3 is equal to 6? No, that is wrong. And next one, third option, see here, A is equal to 6, B is equal to 8, and moreover A is equal to B minus 2. That option we are going to verify. A is equal to 6 here, B 8 minus 2, that is equal to 6. Left side 6, right side 6, yes, correct. That's why option 3 is correct. Option 3 is correct. Very easy questions there, just NCERT board level questions only. Next, this is related to inverse of a function. Inverse of a function. Now this is f of x is equal to x plus 1 whole square. F of x is equal to x plus 1 whole square they are given as a function, as a quadratic function, and whose graph is the reflection of the graph of f of x in the line y is equal to x. Suppose there is a particular graph is like that, then its reflection with respect to y is equal to x, when this is y is equal to f of x, then compulsory that is y is equal to f inverse of x, where under or with respect to y is equal to x only. That means what is a function which is a reflection of the graph f of x is nothing but f inverse of x only. How to find the inverse, you know, in the second year functions chapter, take f of x is equal to y, then you can say x is equal to f inverse of y, and moreover x plus 1 whole square is equal to y, then x plus 1 is equal to root y, and x is equal to root y minus 1. That x only we wrote as f inverse of y. When f inverse of y is equal to root y minus 1, then therefore what is the f inverse of x is equal to? That is root x minus 1. Yes, can you check where this root x minus 1? Yes, this is the third option is correct. Option 3 is correct. Yes, right. How simple that questions are. Next, the question number 12, see here. This is a inverse trigonometric functions. What they are given the question, please see here. sin inverse x plus sin inverse y is equal to pi by 2. Then what is x square in terms of y square they are asking. So first of all bring this y term to that side, then sin inverse x is equal to, that is a pi by 2 minus sin inverse y. So what is the pi by 2 minus sin inverse y? You can write in terms of cos inverse y as cos inverse y, right? Sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2, then pi by 2 minus cos inverse x is equal to sin inverse x only. But once again a small concept is there, sin inverse x is equal to, how to write cos inverse y? That is in terms of sin inverse as sin inverse of root of 1 minus y square. Now both sides we are going to equate these values are here, then x is equal to root of 1 minus y square. But in the question they are asking x square, that's why x square is equal to 1 minus y square. Now can you check where this answer? Yes, option number 1 is correct. Option number 1. I think this year in the CET paper there are no typing errors, there are no key errors are here, questions are direct questions only and formula based questions only. Next one, this is once again inverse trigonometric functions. Inverse trigonometric functions, and moreover we are going to remove this, remember this particular formula as tan inverse of x minus y by 1 plus xy, that is equal to tan inverse x minus tan inverse y. A small basic formula in the inverse trigonometry function, especially CET students, JEE student, they know very well this application. Tan inverse x minus tan inverse y, sorry, here this is tan inverse x minus tan inverse y. Based on that one we are going to apply the telescopic summation here. So as a first term this is tan inverse of 1 is there, 1 is the difference between 1 and 2, so that 2 minus 1 by 1 plus 1 into 2, plus second term tan inverse of this one I can say the difference between 3 and 2, that is nothing but 3 minus 2 by 1 plus 2 into 3, and so on up to the last term. The difference between n and n plus 1 is 1 only, and hence that is tan inverse of n plus 1 minus n divided by 1 plus n into n plus 1. Every term I wrote into that particular formula. Then based on that one, that is equal to, first term I can say tan inverse 2 minus tan inverse 1 by that formula. Please check that formula. The next term, that is nothing but tan inverse 3 minus tan inverse 2, and so on. Last one, that is tan inverse of n plus 1 minus tan inverse of n minus tan inverse of n. Now see positive negative till the last part will be cancelled. Then finally that is equal to tan inverse of n plus 1 minus tan inverse 1. So that this is look like tan inverse x minus tan inverse once again write in the reverse format. So that finally that is tan inverse of x minus y n plus 1 minus 1, that is n only, divided by 1 plus n plus 1 into 1, that is n plus 1 only. So what is the final answer here in the given options? That is tan inverse of n by, that is n plus 2. So where this particular answer, see here once again, yes, option number 1 is correct. Option number 1, this is correct. Yeah, this is a question number 13. See how easy, fast is important in the CET level. We are going to manage the proper timing. Next question number 14 is related to LPP. The corner points of the feasible lesion determined by the system of linear constraints. The points also given, the objective function they are mentioned as z is equal to px plus qy, that is px plus qy. The relation between p comma q, so that the maximum occurs at both the points. One is 15 comma 15, another is 0 comma 20. That means at these two values we got the maximum value. That means this point we are going to substitute in the given objective function. So that z is equal to px 15 into p, qy 15 into q, and whenever if you substitute the second point 0 comma 20, that z is equal to p into 0, 0 only, plus q into 20, that is a 20q. But both are maximum values only. That's why equate the relation between p comma q here like this. So finally that is 15p plus 15q is equal to 20q. Now what is the relation between p comma q they are asking? bring this 15q to that side, and hence that is 15p is equal to 5q. So 5 ones are 5, 5 threes are 15, and hence finally the answer is q is equal to 3p. Where is this answer? Yes, fourth option. So within 1 minute we can solve these type of questions are here based on your preparation in the JEE as well as CET as well as board point of view. And 15th questions here. One more question, same LPP only here also, LPP. What they are saying that the objective function z is equal to ax plus by has the same maximum value at a two corner points. Yes, suppose there is a particular graphical method in the LPP, so that suppose here one point is there and here another point is there, at both points we got the maximum value, then at each and every point of the line joining P comma Q, the maximum value occurs. This is one of the basic condition in the LPP. So how many points we can write between P comma Q? That is infinitely many points are here. So that fourth option is correct. So that students, I think you are understand clearly, and I will give the chance to Mr. Sunil sir. He will come and explain to you. Thank you very much. Best of luck to you.
A very good evening, students. Next 15 questions I am going to explain. Yeah, myself Sunil. I am an MSc BIDA. 13 years of experience in this field. Yes, straight away we will move on to the next question. Look at the next question. Probability of obtaining an even prime number on each die when a pair of die is rolled is. Guys, actually there are two dice are there. That two dice are rolled. The total number of sample space are 36. Therefore, n of s is equal to 36. What is our favorable cases? That is both the dice are even. That is favorable cases is a is equal to 2 comma 2. That means number of elements in that event is 1. The required is the probability of a. Very simple. Number of elements in a whole divided by n of s. Then 1 divided by 36. The fourth option is correct. Very easy question. Actually, this is based on second PUC. I will move on to the next question. Question number 17. Yes. The probability that a man and his wife live after 20 years are 1/4 and 1/3 respectively. The probability that neither the man nor his wife live after 20 years is. See, I will consider this as probability of A, and this I will consider as probability of B. Given probability of A is 1 divided by 4 and probability of B is 1 divided by 3. Look at the question. They are asking to find out probability that neither man nor his wife live after 20 years. That is nothing but probability of A dash intersection B dash they are asking. Both are independent events. You can write probability of A dash into probability of B dash you can write. So from this we can write probability of A dash. What is probability of A dash? 1 minus probability of A, that is nothing but 3 divided by 4. And here probability of B dash is 1 minus 1 divided by 3, that is 2 divided by 3. I will substitute here, which is equal to 3 divided by 4 into 2 divided by 3. You will get 2 by 4, that is nothing but 1 divided by 2. Guys, look at the option. Fourth option is correct. Easy, actually they are given probability to easy questions they are given. Yes. We will move on to the next question. Look at the question number 18. Yes. Integrating factor of the differential equation 1 minus x square into dy by dx minus xy, which is equal to 1. Guys, this question is depending on linear differential equation. the given differential equation is linear differential equation. We have to convert this linear differential equation in the form of dy by dx plus py is equal to q. So 1 minus x square, send that side. You will get dy by dx is equal to, you will get dy by dx minus x divided by 1 minus x square into y, which is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus x square. Guys, compare this one with dy by dx plus py is equal to q. Here p value is minus x divided by 1 minus x square, minus x divided by 1 minus x square. Look at the integrating factor. Look at the integrating factor. Integrating factor is equal to, 1 minute. Integrating factor is equal to e power integration of p dx. So which is equal to e power integration of minus x divided by 1 minus x square dx. Guys, here is a simple integration. So what I will do, I will multiply and divide with 2. So 1 by 2 into integration of minus 2x whole divided by 1 minus x square dx. Here it is looking like an f dash of x divided by f of x. Anyway, we know that integration of f dash of x divided by f of x is log mod f of x. So you will get here e power 1 by 2 into log of 1 minus x square you will get. So you can send that side. E power to the power you can write 1 minus x square whole to the power of 1 by 2. Guys, here exponential and logarithms are inverse process. Then what is remaining? 1 minus x square, its power 1 by 2. This can be written as under square root of 1 minus x square. Is there an option? Yes, it is there. That is fourth option. Fourth option is correct. Okay. I hope understanding. Actually, this is too easy question. Okay. Look at again, it is an second PUC probability question. The question is, the recent studies suggest that 12% of the world population is left-handed, depending on parents' hand usage. The chances of having left-handed children are as follows. Both parents are left-handed, chances of having left-handed children, that is 24%. Both parents are right-handed, chances of having left-handed children 9%. Father left-handed and mother right-handed, chances of having left-handed children is 17%. Father right-handed and mother left-handed, chances of having left-handed children 22%. Okay, this is given data. Next, given the probability of A, probability of B, probability of C and probability of D all are equal to 1 by 4 and L denotes the child is left-handed. See, this is the given. L denotes child is left-handed. They are asking to find out the probability of A by L. They are asking to find out what? Probability of A by L. Guys, this is the based on base theorem question. Simple actually. Everything they are given, every data they are given, just we have to apply the formula. Look here, the probability of A, probability of B, probability of C and probability of D, they are given 1 by 4. And here, this is probability of A given by L, that is 24%. I will write 24 divided by 100. I will write 24 divided by 100. Next, sorry, that is probability of L given by A is 24%, that is 24 divided by 100. Next, the both parent are right-handed, the chances of having left-handed children, that is 9%. That is implies the probability of L given by B, that is equal to 9 divided by 100. 9% means what? 9 divided by 100. See, this is probability of L given by C, that is 17 divided by 100. Similarly, this is probability of L given by D, which is equal to 22 divided by 100. Simple. What they are asking to find out? Probability of A given by L. The formula probability of A given by L is equal to probability of L given by A into probability of A, probability of into probability of A all divided by summation of probability of L given by A into probability of A. Everything they are given, we have to substitute. Probability of A given by L, which is equal to here L given by A, that is 24 divided by 100 into 1 by 4 all divided by summation means first you have to write L given by A, that is 24 divided by 100 into 1 divided by 4 plus probability of L given by B, that is 9 divided by 100 into probability of B, that is 1 by 4 plus next what, probability of L given by C, that is 17 divided by 100 into what, 1 divided by 4 plus probability of L given by D, that is 22 divided by 100 into 1 divided by 4. That's very simple. The calculation, I'll make it very easy. See what we have to do, 1 divided by 400 you take common in the numerator and denominator and cancel it. You will get probability of A given by L is equal to, numerator is a 24, denominator is 24 plus 9 plus 17 plus 22. You will get 24 divided by 72. 72, that means 1 divided by 3. 1 divided by 3. Option there? Yes, it is there. Which option correct? Third option is correct. I hope understanding. See, this is the longest question. I'll move on to the next question. This is first PUC trigonometry question. It is easy only. If alpha and beta are the acute angles such that alpha plus beta and alpha minus beta satisfies the equation, that is nothing but these two are the roots of this quadratic equation, actually quadratic equation in terms of tan, then alpha and beta they are asking. It's very simple. So what I will do, this quadratic equation is there na, so first I will take tan theta is equal to some x I will consider. What I will consider? Tan theta is equal to x. Then it is reduces to x square minus 4x plus 1 which is equal to 0. Quadratic equation. So you can't split the middle term. So you can use this formula, x is equal to minus b. It is actually in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Correct? Yes. So x is equal to minus b, that is minus of minus plus 4 into plus or minus square root of b square, that is 16 minus 4ac is 4 divided by 2a is what? A value 1, therefore 2. So you will get x is equal to, what you will get, can you tell me? 2 plus or minus root 3 you will get. 2 plus or minus root 3. Look here, x means what? Tan theta. So tan theta is equal to what? 2 plus root 3 is 1 and tan theta is equal to what? Tan theta is equal to what? 2 minus root 3. So there are two solutions are there. See here, this is alpha plus beta. So this value is 75 degree because alpha and beta satisfies this equation, means alpha plus beta is 75 degree. And here alpha minus beta, what you will get? 15 degree. Alpha minus beta, what you will get? 15 degree. Add. If I add 2 alpha, you will get 2 alpha is equal to what? 90 degree. Alpha is equal to what? 45 degree. Subtract. If I subtract beta, 2 beta is equal to 60 degree and beta is equal to what you will get? 30 degree. So alpha is 45 degree, beta is 30 degree. Look at the option, how they are asking. Then alpha and beta are. Don't confuse with the options. Alpha first to beta next. So alpha 45, beta 30. So first option is correct. First option is correct. Here also 30, 45 is there, but here beta is what? 30, but here the alpha is 30. You got it? Yes. We will move on to the next question. This is the most easiest question in the entire question paper. Guess we know that square root of minus 1 is I. Square root of minus 1 is equal to what? I. They are given I to the power of 2n. The n will take the value 1, 2, 3 and 4. N will take the value 1, 2, 3, 4. Substitute guys. Actually summation we have to take. Summation. They are given summation. If I substitute n is equal to 1, you will get I square. If I substitute 2, I will get I to the power of 4. If I substitute 3, I will get I to the power of 6. If I substitute 4, I will get I to the power of 8. Yes, I square minus 1. I to the power of 4 plus 1. I to the power of 6 minus 1. I to the power of 8 plus 1. Everything will get cancelled guys. What is the answer? 0. Option there? Yes, it is there. Third option is correct. Okay. Easy question only. Next, we will move on to the question number 21. Yes, this is also the first PUC linear inequality concept. The question is very easy. The solution they are asking. So 3 multiply inside, here 2 multiply inside. What you will get? So here you will get 3x minus 3, which is less than or equal to 2x minus 6. Correct? Yes, correct. 2x bring this side, 3 send that side. What you will get? 3x minus 2x, which is less than or equal to minus 6 plus 3. 3x minus 2x is x, which is less than or equal to minus 3. Okay, it is easy only. Which option correct? First option correct. See, to make you confuse, many options they are given. Directly you will get, you see. It's easy only. One step. Within 30 seconds you can solve this question. No need 1 minute also. Look at the question number 23. See, 23 is based on permutations and combinations. It is also a first year concept. What is the question? 10 distinct points are taken on a circle. There is a one circle. On that circle, 10 different points are there. Using these points, look at the statement number 1. The number of triangles that can be formed is 100. See, to form a triangle, we need 3 points. Out of 10, how many distinct points we need? 3 points. So, statement 1, that is 10C3. How many points we required? 3 points. So, that is combination. We have to take 10C3. What you will get? You can write 10 into 9 into 8 all divided by what? 3 into 2 into 1. 4 is 3, 3 is you will get 10 into 12. What you will get? 120. You can form 120 triangles. So here they are given 100. That means the statement 1 is what? False. Statement 1 is what? False. Okay, we will check the statement 2 also. The number of chord that can be formed is 45. To draw the card, how many points we required, Amma? We required 2 points out of 10. So I can take like this 10C2, which is equal to 10 into 9 all divided by 2 into 1. So that is 5 into 9. That is equal to how much? 45. Yes, they are given 45. Therefore, it is true statement. First statement is false. Second statement is what? True. Look at the option. Which option is correct? Statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. Which option correct? Statement 1 is false. Yes, statement 2 is true. Fourth option is correct. Fourth option is correct. Yes, I hope understanding this question. I'll move on to the next. Yes, this is also permutations and combinations. Nice question. how many ways can you arrange the letters and numbers in KCET 2025 which start with K and ends with 5? Yes, listen, there are 4 letters and 4 numbers are there. Using this, we have to form one thing that should starts with K and ends with 5. So K is fixed and 5 is fixed. In between, how many places are there to fill? There are 6 places are there. Then there are 6 places means what is remaining? CET 202 is remaining. So this can be arranged in how many ways? 6 factorial ways that can be, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that can be arranged in 6 factorial ways. But 2 is repeating how many times? 2 times. Therefore, we should divide with 2 factorial. 6 factorial value is 720 divided by 2 factorial value is 2. The final answer is 360. Yes, 360. See, if you forget to divide 2 factorial means they are given 720 also to make you confuse. But we have to divide with what? 2 factorial, because 2 is repeating how many times? 2 times. So the answer is what? 360. Yes. Next, I'll move on to the question number 25. Yes, because looks like it is very lengthy, but it is 2-step answer. 2-step answer. The value at x is equal to 2 for x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1 whole divided by x to the power of 4 plus 4x cube plus 6x square plus 4x plus 1. See, if you know binomial theorem perfectly, you are able to identify what is the numerator and what is the denominator. See, using the binomial expansion, this can be written as x minus 1 whole cube. That can be written as what? X minus 1 whole cube. Denominator can be written as x minus 1 whole to the power of 4. X minus 1 whole to the power of 4. Can you tell me what is remaining? 1 divided by x plus 1. What we have to find out? The value at where? X is equal to where? 2. So which is equal to 1 divided by 2 plus 1. That is equal to 1 divided by 3. Is there an option? Yes. 1 divided by 3 is the option. So we can solve in 1 minute. Yes. We will move on to the question number 26. This is also first year concept. If we insert 2 numbers between root 2 and 4 so that the resulting sequence is in GP, then the inserted numbers in the order are simple. See, how many numbers are there here? There are 2 numbers. What are the numbers? Root 2 and here one more number is there, 4. I will insert 2 numbers. Let us assume that numbers are x and y. So now this is what? GP. Now this is what? GP. So anyway, first number is A, second number is AR, next number is AR square, last number is AR cube. AR cube. See, AR cube, 4 is equal to A into R cube. A value anyway we know that is root 2. So 4 is equal to root 2 into R cube. Root 2 into R cube. So now you can write. So 2 root 2 is equal to R cube. 2 root 2 is equal to what? R cube. You can write root 2 whole cube is equal to R cube. Then implies R value is what? Root 2. R value is what? Root 2. We got the answer. It is easy only. Root 2. Now, what is AR? AR is what? That is AR is root 2 into root 2. Then what you will get? 2. Is there option? No. This option. And AR square is what? Root 2 into what? Root 2. So this can be written as root 8. This can be written as what? Root 8. So the numbers are, look at this. The numbers are AR and AR square. What is the option? Second option is correct. Easy. 26 is completed. Next I will move on to the question number 27. Guys, it is the most easy question. See, if you know the concept, no need to solve also. It is just easier than easy. A matrix which is not square matrix, that is nothing but a rectangular matrix. That is a rectangular matrix. A square matrix A transpose is equal to A. It is a symmetric matrix. Symmetric matrix. A matrix, the diagonal elements of a diagonal matrix is same. So that is nothing but what? Scalar matrix. A matrix which is symmetric and skew symmetric, that is the best example is what? Null matrix. So verify the option. For A, third. For A is third. Okay, all 4 options correct. For B, 1. B is what? 1. Okay, these 2 are ruled out. B is 1. Next, C is 4. C is 4. Only this option is correct. Then D is 2. Then third option is what? Correct. It's easy na? If you perfectly practice the matrices first page, you are able to solve this. Next, look at the next question. This is also easy. Consider the following statement. Statement 1 is what? If A is non-singular matrix, then A inverse exists. Obviously correct, because A inverse is what? A inverse is 1 divided by det A into adjoint A. 1 divided by det A into adjoint A. They are given A is not equal to 0. Then it is true statement. Then it is what? True statement. If A and B are symmetric matrices of same order, then AB minus BA is a skew symmetric matrix. Actually it is true. See, we will prove. Let us assume C is equal to AB minus BA. AB minus BA. C transpose is equal to what? AB minus BA whole transpose. AB minus BA whole transpose. C transpose is equal to, you can write AB whole transpose minus BA whole transpose. Guys, you can write C transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose minus A transpose into B transpose. Dear student, they are given, both are symmetric matrices, therefore A dash is equal to A and B dash is equal to B. This is BA minus AB. I will take minus common. C dash is equal to minus of AB minus BA. Guys, listen. So C dash is equal to what? Minus C. So C means what? AB minus BA. That is skew symmetric. Yes. Statement 2 is also true. Statement 2 is also true. Both statements are true. Statement 1 is true. Statement 2 is also true. Which option correct? Third option is correct. Look at the third option. Third option is correct. 28. Yeah, we will move on to the next question. Guys, no need to solve. No need to solve. If you see the question, you are easy to identify the option. A row matrix, that means what? Row matrix means there should be a one row, columns one or more. Which option correct? Second option correct. See, like this we can solve this question. Yeah. Look at the question number 30. Yes. 30th question. 30th is also a matrices and determinant. Matrices actually. Let X be a matrix of order 2 by n and Z be a matrix of order 2 by p. They are given n is equal to p. The condition also they are given n is equal to p. Then the order of the matrix 8x minus 9z. See, if you multiply 8 to the x matrix, the order will not change. Therefore, 8x order is 2 by n, and 9z order is 2 by p. See, anyhow we know that if I want to add or if I want to subtract, the order must be same. So 2 by n should be is equal to what? 2 by n should be is equal to what? 2 by p. They are already given n is equal to p. So obviously it is possible. Either option is 2 by n or 2 by p. Which option is there? 2 by n is there? Look at the option. Yes, first option is 2 by n. Therefore the answer is what? 2 by n. Yes, I completed another 15 questions. Total mathematics 30 questions are that over. Next biology session is there for another 30 questions. I welcome Karthik Raman sir. I will hand over to Karthik Raman sir. Thank you guys.
Welcome everyone. I'm sure you already had a very exciting session on mathematics where you have had to check the answer keys for the first 30 questions. My name is Karthik Raman and I'm a faculty of biology at RV Group of Institutions, and I stand in front of you today to do the analysis and discussion of the biology question paper for KCET 2026. So this year we have made a note that botany and zoology have received equal weightage, where each part of biology has been given 50% weightage. If we are going to look at the types or the difficulty level of the questions, we have observed that easy questions make a big chunk of the paper, about 60 to 70%. The medium questions make the next chunk of about 10 to 20%. While the difficult questions are going to make up 10% of the question paper, with numericals from the chapter of cell cycle, cell division and molecular basis of inheritance, and we have pattern recognition based questions on the enzyme action as steps of DNA fingerprinting, and we also have an application based question from reproductive health. Now if we are going to look at the number of questions or the weightage for the 11th and 12th syllabus, we have noted that 22 questions or roughly 36% of the question paper tallies for about the first PU syllabus, while 64% of the questions are going to be matching with the second PUC syllabus. So that's about the analysis. Now we have also made an interesting observation where we have seen that the heavyweight unit is going to be human physiology for KCET 2026, which is going to be followed by molecular genetics and evolution. The next place is taken by biotechnology and human health and disease. Very interestingly, we have observed that there has been no question from the chapters like photosynthesis in higher plants and respiration in plants, but there is only one direct question from plant growth and development, which makes only one question for the unit of plant physiology in botany section. So that's about the analysis of the paper. So I would be helping you to understand the answer keys for the first 15 questions, and we will be looking at the question paper version A1. So let's dive into the question paper analysis. So the first question is coming from the chapter Living World, and this is talking to you about binomial nomenclature, and they want you to identify the incorrect statement. So the first statement, biological names are generally in Latin and written in italics, is the correct statement. The first word in the name represents specific epithet and the second component denotes the genus. This is the incorrect statement. So that is going to be the answer for this question. Why? Because actually it has to be species gives the second name and the genus represents the first name. So therefore, for question 1, option 2 is going to be the right answer. For question 1, option 2 is going to be the right answer. Let's dive into question 2 now. Now, organism X, this question is from the chapter Biological Classification. It is multicellular, so obviously Monera and Protista are ruled out. It is heterotrophic, so we have fungi and animalia. It is eukaryote, and the minute you see this word chitinous cell wall, you directly go to option number 4, which is fungi, and this question is quite easily done. So it is a very direct question from the chapter Biological Classification. So for question number 2, option is 4. Now let's look at the third question. This question is about bryophyte. Specific example is Funaria. This is coming from the chapter Plant Kingdom. Now here they want us to understand the options that are correct for Funaria plant body. So the first one, gametophyte is a dominant plant body, is the correct statement. So directly you can eliminate options 3 and option 4. Next, the sporophyte is differentiated into foot, seta and capsule. This is the right statement. So eliminate option 2 and option 1 is going to be the right answer for question number 3. So let's get going with the next question. Question number 4. This question is a simple and a straightforward match the following question from the chapter Animal Kingdom. So here leech directly goes to Nephridia. So if you are going to write option A is matched with 3, you have only the third option with such a match. So therefore directly you are going to arrive at the answer, that is option 3. Please note we have only one question from the chapter Animal Kingdom. So let's get going with the next question. Now this is a question that is coming from Morphology of Flowering Plants chapter. The question reads, identify the flower with the polyadelphous condition. So this is the condition where the stamens are bundled into many such bundles. So here the answer is going to be citrus, which is a direct concept based question from the textbook. So therefore for question 5 answer is option 3. Next, this question is from the chapter Anatomy of Flowering Plants. This is a question coming from tissue systems. So this is going to be seen in Anatomy of Monocot leaf. So let's look at the characteristics in the question. They are large, empty, colorless cells seen on the upper epidermis in grasses, which facilitate the curling of leaf to minimize water loss. So this is a direct concept question and the answer is going to be bulliform cells. So question number 6, answer is option 2. The next question. Question number 7. So here they want you to find the incorrect statement among the following with respect to digestive system of frog. This question is picked from the chapter Structural Organization in Animals. So let's look at the options. Food is captured by a bilobed tongue. This is the correct statement. Esophagus is a long tube that opens into the stomach and continues as intestine. So here pay attention to this word long. It is making the statement to be incorrect. So the correct word over here is going to be short. So therefore option number 2 is the incorrect statement and this is going to be the correct answer for this question, that is question number 7. Next, question number 8. Now this question has been picked from the chapter Cell, the Unit of Life, and they're talking about plasma membrane. Which of the following is not the function of plasma membrane? Pay attention to this word not. So options: endocytosis, formation of intercellular junction, secretion and DNA synthesis. So therefore this cannot be the function of the plasma membrane. So therefore for question number 8 answer is option 4. Let's get going with the next question. Question number 9. So this question is again another question from the chapter Cell, the Unit of Life. So this is talking about the chromosome. A chromosome with an extremely short and a very long arm is going to be called as the acrocentric chromosome, where it would look something like this. And during anaphase, they would take the shape of J. So therefore, for question number 9, answer is option 3, the acrocentric chromosome, which has an extremely short arm and a very, very long arm. Let's check the next question. Question 10. The following statements are the steps in the catalytic action of an enzyme. So this question is coming from the chapter Biomolecules. This question talks about the induced fit theory which is proposed by Koshland. So if we are going to look at the steps, so the first step is the substrate has to bind to the active site of the enzyme. So if I am going to write D as first step, directly options 1 and 3 are eliminated. So once the substrate binds to the active site, next the substrate should tightly bind to the enzyme, inducing a change in the active site of the enzyme. So this is going to be the second step. Therefore, eliminate option 4 and you are already at the correct answer for this question. So therefore, for question 10, the answer is option 2. Now let's look at the 11th question. This is a numerical question that is from the chapter Cell Cycle and Cell Division. So a diploid cell has 8 chromosomes. So here let us understand the problem bit by bit. So diploid cell is 8 chromosome. Therefore, we would write 2n is equal to 8. Undergoes meiosis, which means that this cell is going to be called as a meiocyte. Best example will be the gamete mother cells and the spore mother cells. They produces 4 daughter cells. This is a classic definition of meiosis. What will be the number of chromosomes present in each daughter cell formed at the end of meiosis 1? Now when we talk of meiosis, we mention there are 2 cycles of nuclear and cytoplasmic division which has only 1 cycle of interphase. So at the end of meiosis 1, we are going to form 2 daughter cells which are going to be haploid cells because they contain half the chromosome number as that of the mother. So now if you are going to take half of this, n is equal to 4. So both the daughter cells are going to be haploid and they are going to contain 4 chromosomes in each cell. So therefore, the correct answer for this question is going to be option number 2. Let's check the next question. Question number 12. Cellulose is an important structural component present in plants which is made up of glucose. This is a direct concept oriented question which is coming from the chapter of biomolecules and under carbohydrates or polysaccharides. So therefore, please note for question number 12, the correct answer is option 3, glucose. Now let's look at question number 13. So here this is from the chapter excretory products and their elimination. So here it says in a healthy individual, the glomerular filtration rate or the GFR is. This is a direct concept based question from the textbook and therefore the answer is 125 ml per minute or 180 liters per day. So therefore the correct answer for question number 13 is going to be option 1, 125 ml per minute. For question number 14, so this, as I mentioned, it is the only question that is coming from the unit plant physiology. Questions from photosynthesis in higher plants and respiration in plants has been missed out, and this is the only question that is coming from the chapter plant growth and development. A hormone that initiates flowering and synchronizes fruit setting in pineapples is the gaseous hormone which is called as ethylene. So therefore, question number 14, the answer is option number 1. Question number 15, identify the incorrect statement regarding the respiratory system in man. They want you to identify the incorrect statement. So this is coming from the chapter breathing and exchange of gases. First let us see, the lungs are covered by a double layered membrane called pleura. This is the correct statement. The alveoli are surrounded by rich blood capillaries is also the correct statement. The trachea, bronchi and bronchioles are supported by O-shaped cartilaginous rings is wrong because it's supported by C-shaped cartilaginous rings which are closed anteriorly and they're open posteriorly to allow for the peristaltic movement in the esophagus. So therefore, for question number 15, option number 3 is going to be the incorrect statement. Now I would like to call upon my esteemed faculty colleague, Mrs. Saini Tejaswini, onto the podium. So she is going to continue the discussion of the next 15 questions. Thank you everybody for a patient hearing.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Let us move on to the next set of questions. So, question number 16 is from the chapter Body Fluids and Circulation. It is about ECG. Consider the following statements with respect to ECG and choose the correct answer. So, let us look into the statement. Statement 1 says, P wave represents depolarization of ventricles. What do you mean by depolarization? Depolarization is also excitation, or we can call it as contraction. So basically, P wave represents depolarization of atria and not ventricles. So therefore, the statement 1 is incorrect. Moving on to statement 2, T wave represents the repolarization of ventricles. What do you mean by repolarization? It is coming back from excited to normal state. So, T wave represents the repolarization of ventricles. So, this statement is correct. So, when we look into the 4 options, statement 1 is wrong and statement 2 is correct. Moving on to the next question. So, this is the question from the chapter Excretory Products and their Elimination. So, the statement goes like this: aldosterone from adrenal cortex stimulates the reabsorption of water and sodium ions. And where are they getting reabsorbed? It is from distal parts of the nephron. So, here the option goes like this: PCT, which is wrong; ascending loop of Henle, which is wrong; distal convoluted tubule, yes, this is the part which is called as distal part of the nephron. Henceforth, the option is right and the last option is also incorrect. So, thereby third is the option. Moving on to the next question. So, the question is from the chapter Locomotion and Movement. So, here we have a question about joints. You all know that joints are nothing but the connections between the bone to bone or bone to cartilage. So, there are 3 types of joints. One is the fibrous joint, which is already given. The second type of joint is called as cartilaginous joint. And the third one is already mentioned, that is synovial joint. So, when we look at the fibrous joint, you know that this is an immovable joint. Immovable joint. So, which part is immovable? Of course, the cranium. Right? So, and coming to the synovial joint, we have different types of synovial joints. So, when we look at the option which is given here, it is between atlas and axis vertebrae, which is the first and second vertebrae, right? So, the joint which is between the atlas and axis is the pivot joint. And the other option which is given is hinge joint. So, the example for hinge joint is the knee joint. So, when we look into the option cranium, instead of cranium they have given cranial sutures, B is cartilaginous joint, C is pivot joint and D is knee joint. Henceforth, our option is 4. Moving on to the next question. So, this is a question from the chapter Neural Control and Coordination. So, here they have mentioned about the types of neurons. So, unipolar neuron is usually found in embryonic stage. Yes, it is found in the embryonic stage. Now, what is a unipolar neuron? So, basically, you know that unipolar, uni means single, right? Unipolar neuron is going to be having one cell body with one axon, right? Cell body with axon. So, henceforth, the option is 2, that is cell body and one axon. Moving on to the next question. So, this is a question from the chapter Chemical Coordination and Integration. So, we speak about lot of hormones here. So, one hormone which is mentioned here is gastrin. You know, gastrin is going to operate, or it is going to be secreted from the gastric glands. Or by GI tract, right, which stimulates the secretion of, HCl and pepsinogen. So, henceforth, the option is 1. So, these were the topics which were from your first year human physiology. So, next set of question, 21st question is about your second year topic. So, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So, you need to identify the correct sequence of wall layers in microsporangium of an angiosperm. So, or we can say it as anther wall layers, right. So, when we look into the wall layers, so the outermost layer is called as epidermis. Basically, it is made up of 4 wall layers. The outermost layer is epidermis. Then comes endothecium, and then come middle layers, and then the innermost layer is tapetum. The innermost layer is tapetum. So, when we look into the option epidermis, endothecium, middle layers and tapetum. So, this is the right option, that is option 2. Moving on to the next question. So, this is a question again from the same chapter, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So, here the question or the statement is, you need to identify which is the correct statement or which are the correct statements for cleistogamous flowers. You all know that there are 2 types of flowers which is seen in some of the plants like Viola, Camelina, oxalis. So, which includes cleistogamous and chasmogamous or chasmogamous. So, cleistogamous flowers are nothing but called as closed flowers. Here the anther or the stamen and the stigma are not exposed. When we look into the options, so they have exposed anthers and stigma, which is an incorrect option. They produced a short seed set. Yes, we call them as they are invariably autogamous. That is, they undergo self-pollination, right, and they need pollinators. Need not be necessary that they require pollinators because they undergo self-pollination, and variation in traits are not seen in next generation, which is absolutely correct because they are invariably autogamous. So, henceforth the option is statement B and D are correct. Next question. So, this is a question which is from the topic human health and disease. So, here is a representation structure which is given in your NCERT, a drug molecule which you need to identify. So, one is the drug molecule given is morphine, and the other one which is given is a cannabinoid. You know that natural cannabinoids are obtained from a plant called as cannabis sativa. So, option here is 2. So, the next question, that is question number 24, is from the chapter human reproduction. So, here they have given the sequence of the milk secretion by the mammary glands. So when we look into the milk secretion by the mammary glands, so you all know that the mammary glands are made up of mammary lobes, and these mammary lobes contain the sac-like structure called alveoli. So from the alveoli, the milk is being released into the mammary tubule. From the mammary tubule, it is going to reach the mammary duct, and then it is going to be reaching the wider structure which we call it as ampulla, and then through the lactiferous duct, it is going to be ejected out. So henceforth, the option is 2. Moving on to the next question. So the question is again from the same chapter, human reproduction. So match the following is given. This is all about the sperm structure. Right? So when we look into the sperm structure, you all know that it consists of 4 parts. The first part is the head, then comes the neck, middle piece and the tail. Right? So you know that acrosome is a cap-like structure which is filled with enzymes, and that those enzymes are going to help the sperm entry into the ova membrane during the process of fertilization. Right? So head part contains haploid nucleus, middle piece is basically with lot of numerous mitochondria, and tail part facilitates the sperm motility. So acrosome is matched with third one, head part is with fourth one. So as you can see, this is the right option. So this option can be ruled out directly, but here they have interchanged the options. So henceforth, the option is 4. Moving on to the next question. So the question is again from human reproduction, right? So which of the following does not, please look into this, does not produce seminal plasma. So seminal plasma is a fluid which is going to combine with sperm to form the semen, and you know that it is going to be produced from the accessory glands. So basically there are 3 accessory glands, that is bulbourethral glands, seminal vesicles, these 2 are the paired glands, and then you have the unpaired gland, that is prostate gland. So epididymis is the structure which is going to be an accessory duct with the other 3. So henceforth, this is not going to secrete the seminal plasma. The option 1 is incorrect. So moving on to the next question. So this is from the chapter reproductive health. So where we speak about STIs. Which of the following STIs, that is sexually transmitted infections, are not completely curable? So in your NCERT, directly they have given that there are 3 infections which are not curable. One is the AIDS, then you have genital herpes, and then lastly you have hepatitis B. So when we look into the options, here you have AIDS, genital warts can be curable, so henceforth this is not the option. Chlamydiasis, gonorrhea, this is not the option. Genital warts, hepatitis B, of course hepatitis B is not going to be curable, but genital warts can be. So when we look into the last option, AIDS and genital herpes, yes, this is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following statements is not true about Saheli? Again the question comes from reproductive health chapter. So you all know that Saheli is a non-steroidal, right? It is a non-steroidal contraceptive pill which was developed by CDRI, which is located in Lucknow, right? So CDRI is nothing but Central Drug Research Institute. So this is a pill which was developed by CDRI, by group of scientists, and let us look into the option. It is a non-steroidal preparation. Yes, it is correct. It is once a week pill. Yes, it is once a week pill. It has low contraceptive value. So look at this. If it has low contraceptive value, then it cannot prevent the contraception. So henceforth, this option is not true about Saheli. Looking at the last option, it has fewer side effects. Yes, it is a non-steroidal pill. Henceforth, it has fewer side effects. So the option is going to be third one. Moving on to the 29th question. So this is also from the chapter reproductive health, right? So let us read out the statement. A woman unable to conceive after many years of regular unprotected coitus went to a specialized clinic. On complete examination, the woman was found to be normal, while the male partner was diagnosed with infertility and was unable to inseminate the female due to low sperm count. So when a female is not having any problem, but the male is identified that he is not able to inseminate the female, right, naturally, and he has low sperm count, which we call it as oligospermia, right. So which method of our technique do we use here, right? So this is the application based question. I hope you have solved this question by understanding the correct situation given here. So when we look at the statement, the male is not able to inseminate. So henceforth, the women requires artificial insemination. So this is the right option. Okay. Moving on to the 30th question. So this is a question from the topic principles of inheritance and variation. So the question is about the blood grouping, right? Here the genotypes of the husband and wife has been given. Let us solve the question. So when we talk about the parents, so parents genotype is given. So male is IA, IB, female is going to be IA, IO, right. So among the blood groups of their children, how many different genotypes and phenotypes are possible? So when we look into the cross, when we cross for the offsprings, so when we do the cross, so we get the genotypes, following genotypes: IAIA, IAIO, IB or IAIB, and IBIO, right. So these are the four genotypes, and when we look at the phenotypes, right, that is the blood group. So as you can see, this is the representation of A blood group, right. IAIO also gives us A blood group. IAIB gives us AB blood group. IBIO gives us B blood group. So there are four genotypes, but when we look at the blood grouping, it is only 3. So there are nothing but 3 phenotypes. So when we look into the option, so 4 genotypes and 4 phenotypes is wrong. 4 genotypes and 3 phenotypes is wrong. This is the correct option, I am sorry. 4 genotypes and 3 phenotypes is correct. 3 genotypes and 4 phenotypes is wrong. 2 genotypes and 3 phenotypes is the wrong option. So henceforth, the option is 4 genotypes and 3 phenotypes. Thank you students for patient hearing. I hope you were clear with all the questions and the answer key given by us. So I pass on the next session to Chudamani sir from the maths department. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Okay. As per my knowledge, today's paper is easy to moderate. I'll start with the next 15 questions. That is question number 31. Which of the following is correct? This is a direct question, a definition based question. Determinant is a square matrix. Observe that. Determinant is a number associated to a matrix. And the third one, determinant is a unique number associated to a square number, associated to a square matrix. Sorry. Determinant is not defined for square matrix, not defined. It is defined actually. Determinant is a square matrix. First of all, a determinant is a unique real number. Set of square matrices to a real number. So, determinant is a unique number associated to a square matrix. This is the correct option. Direct question. Look at the second question, friends. This is a question based on the properties of adjoint. If A and B are invertible matrices of same order, then which of the following is not true? Not true. Observe that A into adjoint of A equals adjoint of A into A equals determinant of A into I. This is a property. Then AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. This is a reversal law of inverse, which is also correct. If determinant of A not equal to 0, determinant of B not equal to 0. And this one, look at this, it should be determinant of A into I. That's why this is a not correct statement. This is wrong. I mean, I want the option as not correct. They are asking, the first option is the correct answer. Okay. We'll move on to the next question. Again, one more question based on properties of determinant and inverse. So, determinant of AB is nothing but a determinant of A into determinant of B. This is a correct statement. Okay. And then determinant of K times A is K raised to N, K power N into determinant of A, where N is order of a matrix. A and B are invertible matrices, and this is actually determinant of A inverse. Determinant of A inverse is equal to 1 by determinant of A. This is also a correct statement only, whereas this is wrong. Not a correct statement they are asking again. Okay. So, a simple question based on the properties. We will move on to the next one. Look at this question. The area of a triangle with vertices 3, 8, minus 4, 2 and 5, 1 is P by 4. Then the value of P is dash. This is a direct question. It is a worked example question. So, there they are asked the area. Instead of that, they have given the area as P by 4. Okay. We know the formula for area, and these are the vertices. So, formula to find the area of a triangle using a determinant as half into the first point x1 y1, x2 y2, and the third point x3 y3, 1 1 1. You just expand this. So area is given as P by 4. P by 4 is equal to 1 by 2 times 1 by 2 times okay, sorry, excuse me. So the 34th question, so area, something wrong with this, area come out to be 61 divided by 2, but they have given area as P by 4, you know. So I just manipulate this just by multiply and divide by 2, multiply and divide by 2, 122 divided by 4. So therefore the value of P is 122. This is your option. Okay. We'll move to the next question. Again, this is a exercise problem. The very first question in the exercise actually, the system of equation x plus 2y equals 3 and 2x plus 3y is equal to 3 has no solution, unique solution, infinite solution, only two solution. No solution means determinant of A not equal to 0 means, see, unique solution determinant of A not equal to 0. No solution determinant of A equals 0, adjoint of A into B not equal to 0, then no solution. If determinant of A 0, adjoint of A into B is also 0, then infinitely many solutions. This condition we are familiar. Or else one more method you can follow, A1 by A2, coefficients of x, A1 by A2 and B1 by B2, coefficients of y, B1 by B2. Observe those, that is 1 by 2 not equal to 2 by 3. So that's why it is unique solution. Okay. Or else get the determinant, take the coefficients of x, that is 1, 2, coefficients of y 2, 3, that is 3 minus 4, 3 minus 4, that is minus 1, you know. So determinant of A not equal to 0. That's why it is unique solution. The system of equation has a unique solution. So it is a direct question from NCERT exercise problem actually. We'll move on to the next question, that is 36. Observe this question. So this is again if A is equal to 2i plus 2j minus k and B equals alpha I plus beta j plus 2k, modulus of A plus B is equal to modulus of A minus B is given. Then alpha plus beta is what? So a kind of a problem from exemplar problem this is actually. See, this is given, you know, I just square on both sides. I just square on both sides. So that modulus of A plus B the whole square is equal to modulus of A minus B the whole square. So let me expand this. It is modulus of A square plus modulus of B square plus 2A dot B is equal to modulus of A square plus modulus of B square minus 2a dot b. Minus 2a dot b. See, a square plus b square a square plus b square. Here also a square plus b square. So gets cancelled. Shift 2a dot b to the other side. It becomes 4 times a dot b. Correct. 4 times a dot b. That means a dot b is equal to 0. Dot product should be 0. So look at a and b. Nothing but, that is nothing but 2i plus 2j minus k dot b is what pa? Alpha I plus beta j plus 2k is equal to 0. Multiply I with I dot I, 2 into alpha, that is 2 alpha, 2 with beta, that is 2 beta, then minus 1 into 2, that is minus 2, is equal to 0. Since I dot I, j dot j, k dot k is 1, whereas I dot j, I dot k, if different unit vector means dot product is 0, you know. I just divide by 2 throughout the expression, so that alpha plus beta is equal to 1. Alpha plus beta is equal to 1. That is the fourth option. Hope you understood, friends. It is similar problems in exemplar. We'll move to the next question. So look at the question pa. If A is equal to I plus j plus k and B is equal to I minus j, then we are supposed to find A cross I is equal to B and A dot C is equal to B. Then C is dash, they are asking. C must be one of these 4 options. C must be one of these 4 options. It should satisfy this condition. A dot C must be equal to 3. Let me verify one by one. Suppose if I take this as a C vector, and A is here, okay. So let us verify the first option, A dot C, I am calculating, okay. So I dot I, that is 1 into 5 by 3, and this is j with j, 2 by 3, k with k, minus 2 by 3. So this is 5 by 3 we are getting actually, right, but it must be what? 3. So it is not equal to 3 means this is not the correct answer. We'll move to the second one. I am working this with inspection method, by method of inspection. Look at A and C. Suppose if I take this as C, I with I, that is 5 by 3, j with j, 1 into minus 2 by 3, then plus 2 by 3, again which is 5 by 3, not equal to 3. So this is also ruled out. Then come to option 3, which is 5 by 3, then 2 by 3 plus 2 by 3. See 3 as the LCM, 5 plus 2 plus 4, 9. 9 by 3 means what? 3. So we are getting A dot C as 0. So that means this is our correct option. Let me verify the fourth option. Look at that, 5 by 3 minus 2 by 3 minus 2 by 3. This is actually 5 minus 4, 1 by 3, which is not 3 actually. That's why fourth option also eliminated. We are left with only the third option. So third option is the correct answer. Hope you understood. We'll move to the next question pa. that is question number 38. Look at this one. The value of lambda for which the vector this and this are orthogonal. So this is a hand picked question from an exemplar problem. Okay. So what are the condition for orthogonal vectors? Condition for orthogonal. If two vectors are orthogonal, their dot product is 0. The same question is there in exemplar. You can go through that. See, 2i plus lambda j plus k dot b is I plus 2j plus 3k is equal to 0. So I dot I, 2 into 1, 2, j with j, 2 lambda, k with k, that is 1 into 3, 3 is equal to 0. So 2 lambda is equal to 2 plus 3, 5 to the other side, minus 5. So therefore lambda becomes minus 5 by 2. That is your option. So it is there in second option, correct? Hope you followed this. A simple question from exemplar problem. So from this it is clear that many of the questions, if you cover each and every corner of NCERT, you are going to solve the paper easily. Okay. So as per my observation, so from first year we have 23 questions for in this session, 23 questions from this, that is approximately 38%, and the remaining 38 questions, 23 questions, 37 questions from second year actually, whereas in the last year we have 20 questions from the first year topics. That means almost 33.3%. So it is clearly indicating that, so first year percentage is also increasing. If you observe from 2014 till last examination, around 15 questions we come across actually, around 25% let us say. So compared to last year also, this year increased in first year questions. Okay pa. So next come to question number 39. The angle between the lines whose direction ratios are ABC and B minus C, C minus A minus B. So again this is also 3D question from miscellaneous exercise problem. This is actually NCERT miscellaneous exercise. So please note friends, so each and every corner of NCERT plays a major role. Okay. So you just observe the pattern A, B, C, cyclic order, A minus B, B minus C, C minus A. So these are the direction ratios. Direction ratios. Let me, to avoid the confusion with this, so A1, B1, A2, B2, A3, B3. Let us find out what happens to the product. A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2. See, this is A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2. That is nothing but A into B minus C plus B into C minus A plus C into A minus B. You just multiply this one pa. It is nothing but AB minus AC plus BC, then AB plus AC minus BC. See, each term gets cancelled, okay, this with this again gets cancelled, so we are left with 0. A1 A2 plus B1 B2 plus C1 C2 equals 0 means the lines are perpendicular. That is the condition for perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines. Okay, perpendicular lines. That's why the angle between them is 90 degree. That's why angle between the lines is 90 degree as the lines are perpendicular. So the condition for perpendicular lines is A1A2 plus B1B2 plus C1C2 is equal to 0. Or else you can follow the alternate method by using the formula cos theta equals this divided by root of A1 square plus B1 square plus C1 square into root of A2 square plus B2 square plus C2 square. Instead of that, the lines are perpendicular, We'll move to the next question pa. Hope you understood. That is there in the first option. This is again a question picked in 3D miscellaneous exercise question actually. Okay. We'll move to the next question. The measure of the angle between the lines this and this. Okay. So this is not in the standard form. I just convert this as x minus 1 is equal to k, Let me divide it by k. X minus 1 equals k is equal to y, shift minus 1 to the other side, plus 1 divided by 2k, correct. X minus 1 divided by x minus 1 is equal to k, x minus 1 is equal to k from this expression, and y plus 1 divided by 2 is also equal to k, and from this expression z minus 3 divided by 2 is also k. You just compare each expressions, ratios. X minus 1 by 1 equals k means x minus 1 equals k, nothing but x equals k plus 1. From this it is of the form, Cartesian form of a straight line, x minus x1 by a1, x minus y minus y1 by b1, see a1 b1 c1, and here a2 b2 c2, it's in the standard form only. So from this we have the formula to find the angle between the lines as a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 divided by root of a1 square sigma a1 square, let me write, into root of a2 square, that means a2 square plus b2 square plus c2 square. So I just substitute a1 a2, that is 2 into 1 plus 1 into 2 plus c1 c2 again 1 into 2 divided by root of a1 square 2 square 4 plus 1 again, and this one 1 plus 4 plus 4. Of course, if you want to find the, whenever they say angle, acute angle, it is understood, it is an acute angle. So cos theta is equal to 2 plus 2 plus 2. So that is nothing but 6 divided by, this is root 6 and this is root 9. See, 6 can be written as root 6 whole square, so that root of 6 by 9, it is nothing but root of 2 by 3, that is cos theta. Measure of the angle, cosine of the angle means root of this. So angle becomes cos inverse of root of 2 by 3. Cos inverse of root of 2 by 3. It is there in the second option. Okay. Hope you are following. Okay, fine. Let us move to the next question. 41st question. A line L1 joining the points minus 1 comma 2 and 3 comma 6 divides the line L2 which passes through the point 3 comma minus 1, and the ratio 1:3 internally. then the equation of L2 is dash they are asking. Equation of L2 is dash. Say this is the line 1 and another line L2 let us say. Okay pa. See this is a line 1 passing through the points minus 1 comma 2 and 3 comma 6. And the line L2, this is the line L2 which passes through the point 3 comma minus 1, 3 comma minus 1. Okay. And the ratio 1 is to 3. We are supposed to find the equation of a line L2. Please observe the line L1 joining these 2 points divides. Divides means say the point P. Where does the point P lies? It lies on the line 1 as well as line 2. So the point of intersection. So if a point lies on the line means it has to satisfy the equation of a line. Correct? So I just solve this by elimination technique. I mean if it satisfies the point, any one of this has to be of course. So any of these 4 options 3 comma minus 1 satisfies any only one option, then you can choose the answer directly. Let me verify by inspection. By inspection, observe the first option pa. You just substitute the points 3 comma minus 1. If I take the first option 4 into 3 12 minus 3 into minus 1 minus 9. Is it 0 pa? See this is 12 plus 3. 12 plus 3 minus 9. Obviously this is not equal to 0. So this is eliminated. So the point P does not lies on the first option. So that is not the line 2. Let me take the second option pa. So 4 into 3 minus 3 into minus 1 plus 9. This is 12 plus 3 plus 9. This is again not equal to RHS. RHS must be 0, you know. So again the second option got eliminated. Let me verify the third option. Look at the third option. 4 into 3 then plus 3 into minus 1 minus 9. So this is 12 minus 3 minus 9, that is minus 12. So which comes out to be 0, which is RHS. Okay. So the option 3. Let me verify the fourth option. Okay. So that is 4 into 3 12 plus 3 into minus 1 plus 9 is there. So obviously this is not RHS. So only the third option satisfies the point. That means the point lies on the third option. So that means this is our required line. So just a elimination technique, just by substituting the point. If a point lies on the line, it has to satisfy. In general, if a point lies on a curve, parabola, ellipse or circle, it has to satisfy the equation of a curve in general. Okay. Hope you followed. We'll move to the next question pa. Look at this. Yes, this is a simple question based on the theory. Introduction part, it is there in the conic section. Look at the first statement pa. Look at the first statement pa. The statement 1, when alpha greater than beta greater than 0, the section of the cone is a hyperbola. This is a correct statement. When beta greater than 90, then the section is ellipse. Actually it should be beta less than 90 and greater than alpha, then it is ellipse actually. If alpha and beta are equal means it is an ellipse, parabola. This is a parabola. Okay. So if the second statement has to be correct, this should be the condition they have to given. So that means the second statement is wrong. whereas the first statement is true actually. First statement is true and the second statement is false. It is there in the first option. Which of the following is correct, they are asking. Okay, a simple definition based, I mean the concept based question. Okay, so when a double cone is cut by a plane, okay, so we get different curves, sections of the cone, conic section, hence the name conic section. Okay, so based on this angle we discriminate the curves actually. Hope you followed. So come to 43rd question pa. So 3 points A, B and C form a right angled triangle with B is equal to, angle B is equal to 90 degree, they are asking. What is the value of A? What is the value of A, they are asking. Okay pa. See, right angled triangle. See, this is our right angled triangle. A, that is 2, 4, 3, and B, the point B is 4, A, 9, and the point C is 10, minus 1, 7. So, and the angle B is 90 degree, this is given. That means clearly BA and CA are perpendicular. Okay, angle between two vectors is 90 degree, means the vectors are perpendicular, है ना? So clearly BA, since the angle B is 90 degree, the vectors BA perpendicular to BC. So when two vectors are perpendicular, their dot product must be 0, correct? So BA dot BC is equal to 0. How do you write BA pa? So OA minus OB, position vector of the point A minus position vector of the point B. So that means OA minus OB means 2 minus 4, that is minus 2i, then 4 minus A, 4 minus A into J cap plus 3 minus 9, 3 minus 9 means minus 6k, correct? This is the vector BA, I write it, I am writing directly. BC, BC is what? OC minus OB, terminal point minus initial point, correct? So C minus B, that is 10 minus 4, which is 6, minus 1 minus A, I just take out a minus sign common, minus of 1 plus A into J cap, then 7 minus 9, you know, minus 2k, must be 0. Hope you are following. So BA dot BC. So get the dot product. As we know, I dot I is 1, minus 2 into 6, minus 12. J with J you multiply, 4 minus A, 4 minus A into 1 plus A, you know. J dot J is 1 as we know. Then K with K, minus 2 into minus 2, that is plus 12, since K dot K is 0. So here, so minus 12 and plus 12 gets cancelled. I just multiply negative sign here. A minus 4 into A plus 1, we can write it as 0. Either A minus 4 equals 0 or A plus 1 equals 0. So that the values of A are 4 or minus 1. It is there in the second option. Hope you understood this. We'll move to the next question pa. Come to the next question. 44. Observe this question pa. So it is a simple question based on first year limit concept. So limit of x square, limit as x tends to 3, x square minus ax minus 3b divided by x minus 3 is equal to some finite quantity. 5 they have given. We are supposed to find a plus b actually. If I replace x as 3, denominator is 0, numerator has to be 0. Otherwise, anything by 0 is infinity. It cannot be 5, right? So, this quantity has to be 0 means x square minus ax minus 3b must be 0. So, what is the tending value here? X is 3. So, replace x as 3 pa, that is 3 square at x equals 3 means, so a into 3 minus 3b is equal to 0, right? So 9 is equal to 3a plus 3b, 3a plus 3b. I just divide by 3, I'll eliminate 3. Therefore, a plus b is equal to 3. So we obtain the sum of a and b directly as 3. It is there in the third option pa. This is one of the method, or else we can use LH rule, L'Hopital rule. So differentiate numerator separately and denominator separately. You can follow the other method, alternate method. You will get the same answer. You can verify pa. So hope you understood. We will move to the next question. It is a simple question again from limits. It is a split function, a piecewise function they have defined. F of x as x square minus 1 if x greater or equal to 2 and x plus 1 if x is less than 2. We are supposed to find limit of f of x as x tends to 1 plus limit of f of x as x tends to 2. So let me write here as x tends to 1, x less than 2 means, so we are supposed to select x tends to 1 means it is here. So f of x as, we are supposed to select the function f of x as x plus 1 as x tends to 2, x tends to 2 here. So it is there in the function x square minus 1. We need to select x square minus 1 as f of x. Okay, replace x as 1 pa, 1 plus 1. This is 2, x as 2, that is 4 minus 1, correct. So this is 2 plus 3. So therefore, turn out to be 5. It is there in the second option. Okay, hope you understood. Now I welcome my another colleague, Madhumita ma'am. Thank you.
Good evening all of you. I am Madhumita Sinha, a maths faculty at RV Learning Hub. I hope all of you guys have performed really well in this today's exam. Okay, let me now to give you the solution of the next set of questions. So the question is, if y equals to cube root of 10x plus y, then you have to find dy by dx. Okay. So see, since cube is there, right? So I'll just cube it out both sides. So I'll get y cube equals to 10x plus y. So what can I write? Y cube minus y equals to 10x. What I want? Dy by dx. So I'll differentiate this with respect to x. Okay. So 3y square dy by dx minus dy by dx. Yes, what is differentiation of 10x with respect to x? Sec square x, right? So what will I get? If I take common dy by dx, then I'll get 3y square minus 1, right? Which is equal to sec square x. So dy by dx equals to sec square x by 3y square minus 1. Now see which option is getting matched. Option number 4, sec square x upon 3y square minus 1. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question is, if a piecewise function is given, okay, how it is defined? F of x is ax plus 7 if x is less than 1, 3x minus 1 if x equals to 1, x plus 3 upon b if x is greater than 1. The condition is continuous at x equals to 1. Then you have to figure it out what are the values of a and b, right? So now, if a function is continuous at a point say a, then what is the condition of continuity? The left hand limit and the right hand limit as well as the functional value at that point a should all be equal, right? So now see, limit x tends to 1 minus. So left hand, that means x less than 1, how the function is defined? Ax plus 7, right? Should be equal to the right hand limit, limit x tends to 1. For x greater than 1, how the function is defined? X plus 3 upon b, x plus 3 upon b. It should be equal to the functional value, that means f of 1. At x equals to 1, how the function is defined? 3x minus 1. So 3 into 1 minus 1, right? Now let's solve this. Put the limit a1 plus 7 should be equals to 1 plus 3 by b should be equals to 2. So what will be a? A will be 2 minus 7. So 2 minus 7 I'll get minus 5. What will be b? B will be 4 by 2, that is 2. So I got a is minus 5, b is 2. Let's see which option is correct. A minus 5, b 2. Yes, option 4 is getting matched. So option 4 is the correct answer for this question. Now, the next question is the second order derivative of cos inverse 4x cube minus 3x with respect to cos inverse 2x square minus 1 provided x should lie between half to 1. Okay. Now, this looks complicated, right? Cos inverse 4x cube minus 3x. So, see, if I put x equals to cos theta, so what will happen? Cos inverse 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. Okay, now this is a well-known formula of what? 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. Yes, cos 3 theta. Cos inverse cos 3 theta. Now this is a composition of a function and its inverse. We know that composition of a function and its inverse is always an identity function in their respective domains. So cos inverse cos 3 theta will be what? 3 theta. Now what is theta? Theta can I write as cos inverse x? Yes, I can write. So 3 cos inverse x. Okay. Now what is the next function? Cos inverse 2x square minus 1. Again, I'll put in place of x cos theta. Okay, so it will be 2 cos square theta minus 1. Again, this is a well-known formula, isn't it? What is it? 2 cos square theta minus 1. Yes, cos 2 theta, right? Cos 2 theta. So, cos inverse cos x equals to x. So, it will be 2 theta. What is theta? Cos inverse x. So, this will be equal to 2 cos inverse x, right? Now, what do you need? The second order derivative of cos inverse 4x cube minus 3, which is simplified to 3 cos inverse x. So, let me name it as u and let me name it as v. Okay, so basically what I need is d2u by dv2, right? This one I have to find. Okay, so let me first find the first order derivative, du by dv. Okay, but u is not a function of v. So, but definitely u and v are functions of x. So, what you gonna do? You will use chain rule. Yes. So, du by dx equals to dv upon dx. So, what is du by dx? That means differentiation of 3 cos inverse x with respect to x. So, what is differentiation of cos inverse x with respect to x is minus 1 by under root 1 minus x square, right? So, it will be minus 3 by under root 1 minus x square. What is dv by dx? Minus 2 by under root 1 minus x square. Okay. So, ultimately I will get 3 upon 2 because this will get cancelled, under 1 minus x square, under 1 minus x square will get cancelled, minus minus will get cancelled. So, it will be simplified to 3 upon 2. This is the first derivative, okay. So, but what I need, d2u by dv2. This is a constant, right? If you differentiate a constant, what will you get? 0. So, which option? Option 1 is the correct answer for this question. Okay. Let's see the next question. The next question is, if f of x equals to sine inverse 2x by 1 plus x square, then you have to find what is f dash 1 by 2, right? Okay. So, f of x is given as sine inverse 2x divided by 1 plus x square. Yes. Can I write this as 2 tan inverse x? Yes, of course I can, because 2 tan inverse x is equal to what? Sine inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square. So, f dash x will be what? 2 by, what is the differentiation of tan inverse x with respect to x? 1 upon under root. Yes, what is it? 1 upon under root 1 plus x square. So, I got my f dash x. What I need? F dash 1 by 2. So, simply put x equals to half here. So, let's see, 1 plus 1 by 4. Sorry. The differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square, not under root. Okay. So, 2 by 1 plus 1 by 4. So, it will be 8 by 5. Okay. The differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 by 1 plus x square. Okay. So, f dash 1 by 2 will be 8 by 5. Yes, which option is getting match? Option 1. Okay. Option 1 is the correct answer for this question. Now, the next question is, if root x into cube root of y equals to x plus y whole power n, and x into dy by dx minus y equals to 0, then what is n? Okay. So, this is a very standard result. I would like to introduce the result is, if x plus y whole power a plus b equals to x power a y power b, then dy by dx equals to y by x. Okay. Or else I can say that if you solve this differential equation, the solution you will get this. Okay. Now, can you see this form is in this? Okay. So, what do you see? A plus b is n, right? If you compare that. So, what is a? Yes, what is a? Power of x, half. What is b? 1 by 3. So, this is 5 by 6. So, which option is correct? Option number 3, 5 by 6 is our correct answer. Okay. I hope you understood this question. Now, the next question states, if in a Mahakumbh, a drawn camera is moving along this curve, the curve is given 3y equals to x cube minus 3. When y coordinate changes 9 times as fast as x coordinate, it captures good quality pictures, right? Then one of the precise positions of the drone at that instant is. Okay. Now, what is given? The curve is 3y equals to x cube minus 3. I will differentiate it with respect to t. Okay. So, I will get dy by dt equals to 3 x square dx by dt. So, this will give me dy by dt equals to x square dx by dt, right. Now, read the very second line of the question. What is it? Y coordinate changes 9 times as fast as x coordinate. So, can I write dy by dt equals to 9 into dx by dt? Yes, of course we can. So, I will write 9 into dx by dt, right, which is equal to x square dx by dt. Now, let us solve this. So, taking common dx by dt, I will get x square minus 9 equals to 0. Okay. Now, dx by dt can't be 0. Okay. If it becomes 0, then x will be constant. So, what will happen? The remaining quantity should be 0. So, if x square minus 9 is 0, so x will be equal to plus minus 3. Okay. Now, how to get to y? Yes. What is the given curve? See, 3y equals to x cube minus 3. I will put it there. If x is 3, what is my y? Y is 3 cube. 27 minus 3 divided by 3. 24 by 3 is 8. That means one position I got 3, 8. Two values for x I got, right? So if x is minus 3, y I'll get minus 3 cube. Minus 27 minus 3 by 3, that is minus 30 by 3 minus 10. So this is minus 3, minus 10. Okay, see the options. This one position is not there. So the correct answer will be 3, 8. So option 3 is our correct answer. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Yes, the next question states a YouTube short video is getting viral. Okay, according to the function is given as in terms of t, f of t equals to minus 2t cube plus 3t square plus 5. Okay, at what time does the video get maximum number of shares? T is in hours. Okay, okay, let's solve. Since we need the maximum, so it is a problem of finding the extremum points, that is critical point. How you find? F dash t I have to first find, right? So if f of t is that, what will be f dash t? Yes, differentiated with respect to t. So minus 6t square plus 6t. To find the critical points, f dash t should be put equal to 0. So what will I get? If I take common 6t, minus t plus 1 equals to 0. This implies either t is equal to 0 or t equals to 1, right? Now, how to get to know that which one of them will get you the maximum number of views at what time? Okay. So, for that I will use the second derivative test. So, what will be f double dash t? Yes, differentiate it once. Minus 12t plus 6. Now, f double dash 0 is what? 6. Positive. So, it is a point of minimum or maximum? Minimum, right? Yes. Similarly, if you find f double dash 1, so you will get minus 12 plus 6, you got a negative less than 0, so it will be a point of maximum, right? So, by the double derivative test, we got that at t equals to 1, it will get the maximum number of shares. So, the final value is t equals to 1 r. Yes, which option is correct? Option 1. Option 1 is the correct answer for this question. Okay. Now, let's see the next question. Yes, the next question states integration x fx dx plus f of x by 2 equals to 0. Then you have to find f of x is equal to. Okay. Yes. So, what will I do? I'll differentiate. Differentiating with respect to x. If you differentiate, you will get x into fx plus f dash x upon 2 equals to 0. Yes. So, what will be f of x? Sorry, what will be f dash x? It will be minus 2x into fx. Okay. So, can I write this as f dash x divided by f of x equals to minus 2x? Of course, I can. Now, what I will do? I will integrate this. Integrate both sides. Integration f dash x by f of x dx equals to integration minus 2x dx, right? What is the integration of f dash x by fx? Yes, ln f of x, yes, correct. And this will be minus x square plus arbitrary constant, right? Don't forget this arbitrary constant. So, what will be f of x? Yes, just wait a minute. So, f of x will be e power minus x square plus c. Now, see in the options, if you see no constant is there, right? So, can I do one thing? Can I do one thing that if we substitute or if we put c equals to 0, I will get my function as e power minus x square. Is it in the options? Yes, it's option 3. Option 3 e power minus x square is our required function, right? I hope you understood the question. Now, let's move on to the next question. Yes, the next question states one of the possible functions f of x which satisfies integration minus 2 to 2 fx dx equals to 0 is, can you see this is a symmetric interval? Yes. So we know that if you integrate an odd function over a symmetric interval, then you get integration value to be 0. So that means my function f of x should be an odd function. Acha, correct. So what do you mean by odd functions? Yes, what is the definition? F of minus x should be equals to minus of f of x, right? For all x belonging to the domain of the function f, right? Okay, now we need to check out of these 4 options which one is a odd function, which one is an odd function, right? So let me start with the very first option, log 2 plus x upon 2 minus x. So what will be f of minus x? Yes, you will just substitute it x by minus x. So log 2 minus x upon 2 plus x. So can I write this as minus log 2 plus x upon 2 minus x? Of course I can, because we know log a upon b is minus log b upon a, right? So what is it? Log 2 plus x by 2 minus x, f of x itself. So what you got? For all x in the domain f of minus x, you got minus fx. That means this given function is my odd function. So this is our correct answer for this question, right? I hope you understood the question. Now the next question states integration a minus 6 to b minus 6 f of x plus 6 dx is equal to, okay. See, can I write let x plus 6 equals to u? Of course I can. So what will happen? Dx will be equals to du, right? Now the limits are dependent on x. So if x tends to a minus 6, what will happen? X plus 6 will tend to a. What is x plus 6? Yes, u. So u will tend to a. Now if x tends to, the upper limit is b minus 6. So x plus 6 will tend to b. So x plus 6 is nothing but u. So u will tend to b. So since we substituted x plus 6 as u, so the limit has to be in terms of u, right? So it goes from a to b f of u du. Now in the options, if you see, they are written in terms of x. Now this is a dummy variable, so we can change it and we can write integration a to b f of x dx, right? You write in terms of u or x or t, any variable, the area remains the same, right? So the option, yes, which option you can say is correct? Option 3 is our correct answer. I hope you understood the question. Now let's move on to our next question. Yes, the next question is, if n is a natural number, then what will be the integration sin raised to the power nx upon cos raised to the power n plus 2x dx, okay? Let's see the solution. Can I write this as see, of course I can. N plus 2 I have break as cos power nx into cos square x dx. So this is what? 10 power nx sec square x dx, okay. Now let 10x equals to t, okay. So what is the differentiation of 10x? Sec square x dt upon dx. So dx will be dt upon sec square x. Now put it back on the equation, I mean the integration. So integration will be equal to t, I have substituted as 10, I have substituted as t. So t power n sec square x in terms of dx is dt by sec square x, right? So this two got cancelled. So my integration is now t power n dt, which is a very simplified form, and we know this formula. What is it? T power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus the arbitrary constant, okay. So what is t? T is, yes, 10x. So 10 power n plus 1x divided by n plus 1 plus c. See, is it matching with some option? Yes, it is option 4. 10 raised to the power n plus 1x by n plus 1 plus c. Okay, I hope you understood the question. Now let's move on to the next question. Yes, the next question states integration e power minus x log 2 into 2 power x dx is what? Okay, see here, integration, can I write this as log 2 power minus x into 2x dx? Yes, of course, normal property of log function, right? So, now e power x and log x are what? Inverses of one another. So, if you take the composition, you will get the identity function on the respective domains. So, it will be simplified to 2 power minus x into 2 power x dx. What is it? Integration dx, it is equal to x plus c. Which option? Option 2 is correct. Okay. Now, let us move on to the next question. The next question is the area of the region bounded by the curve. A curve is there, y square equals to x cube by y axis and the lines y equals to 1 and y equals to 8 is. Okay, y square equals to x cube. So, can I write x equals to y power 2 by 3? Of course I can. So, what will be the area? Area will be integration y equals to 1 to 8 y power 2 by 3 dy. So, integrate it. So, what will happen? Y power 5 by 3, 3 by 5, the limit runs from 1 to 8. So, normal calculation is there. So, it will be 2 power 5, 32 minus 1, 31. So, I got 3 by 5 into 31 will be equals to 93 by 5 square units. Okay, this area I got. Yes, which option is correct? It's option 2. Option 2 is our required area. Okay, I hope you are clear with this question. Now, let's move on to the next question. Okay, the next question is the area enclosed by the curve x equals to root 3 cos theta, comma y equals to root 3 sin theta. Okay, is it a known thing for you guys? Yes, tell me. What is it? X equals to r cos theta, comma y equals to r sin theta. What is it? It is a parametric form of a circle, right? Parametric form of circle, correct. So, what is r here? R is the radius. Compare it. What is r given? Square root 3. Yes, what is the area of a circle? Yes, pi r square. So, this is equals to 3 pi square units. Yes, which option is correct? Option 4, 3 pi square units is my required area enclosed by this curve and the given lines. Okay, very simple. Now, the next question states sum of the squares of the order and degree if defined of a differential equation. What is the differential equation? 2y dash y double dash whole square equals to root y double dash minus 3 is. Okay. What is the order of a differential equation? Yes, order. Order of a differential equation is the highest order derivative present in the equation when it is free from radicals and fractions as far as the derivatives are concerned. Okay. So, what I'll do? I'll square it out. 2y dash plus y double dash whole square equals to y double dash minus 3. Now, just square it out. 4y dash square plus 4y dash y double dash square plus y double dash power 4 equals to y double dash minus 3. Okay, this is simplified, right? Now, see what is the highest order derivative present? Double derivative, right? So, what will be the order? Order will be 2, right? What is the degree? Yes, what is the degree? Degree is the highest power present in the highest order derivative. So, degree will be equals to 4. Now, what you need? Sum of the squares of the order and degree. So, sum of the squares, it will be equals to 2 square plus 4 square will be equals to 4 plus 16 equals to 20. Right? Yes, is 20 in the option? Yes, it is option 2. So, option 2 is the required sum of the squares of the order and degree of this differential equation. Right? So, I hope all of you have performed really well since I have completed the entire maths portion now. So, I would like to wish you all luck. I hope we will get the ranks as you expected. Now, with these words, I would like to invite the next teacher, Sridhar sir, who will continue with the biology portion. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, students. My name is K. Sridhar. I am the senior biology faculty working at RV Learning Hub. Moving forward, I'll be discussing the next set of questions. So, coming to the question number 31, the classical example of point mutation is. So, this question is from chapter genetics, that is principles of inheritance and variation. So, as we have studied point mutation, example of point mutation is sickle cell anemia. So, let me look at the other options. Hemophilia. Hemophilia, this is an X-linked recessive disorder, X-linked recessive disorder, whereas cystic fibrosis, this is an autosomal recessive. Phenylketonuria, this is also again autosomal recessive. So, remaining option over here is, that is sickle cell anemia. This sickle cell anemia is caused because of point mutation. So, this defect is caused by substitution of amino acid glutamic acid, substitution of glutamic acid with valine. This sickle cell anemia is the defect caused by substitution of glutamic acid by valine. At which position? This is at 6th position. Of which polypeptide chain? It is the beta polypeptide chain of hemoglobin molecule, where GAG is converted to GUG. So, thus example of point mutation, the answer is sickle cell anemia. Now, moving on to next question number 32. Read the following statements. In a typical test cross, an organism showing dominant phenotype is crossed with recessive parent. First of all, this statement is true. So, test cross refers to crossing of dominant individual with recessive parent. Reason: in order to find out whether the dominant individual is homozygous dominant or heterozygous dominant. So, thus statement 1 is true. Next, the ratio of organisms showing dominant and recessive traits in F1 generation of a test cross indicates that the organism with unknown genotype is homozygous dominant. This statement is false. It is actually heterozygous dominant. Reason: if you look at the ratio does not determine whether dominance or recessive, it just determines genotype. That means, what I mean to say is, it determines whether it is homozygous dominant or whether it is a heterozygous dominant. If the individual is homozygous dominant, then all the offsprings will be completely dominant. That means 100% if they are dominant, so then the dominant individual is said to be homozygous dominant. Suppose if 50% of the offsprings are dominant and 50% of the offsprings are recessive, then the individual is said to be heterozygous dominant. So, it should not be homozygous, it should be heterozygous. So, hence statement 2 is a false statement. Now, looking at the correct answer in the options given below, if I look at the first option, statement 1 and 2 are true. This is wrong, as statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is false. Moving on to next option, both statements 1 and 2 are false. This is also wrong. Next, moving on to next option, statement 1 is true. Yes, it's absolutely true. But statement 2 is false. Yes, this is right. Next, looking at the fourth option, both statement 1 is false, that is statement 1 is false, but statement 2 is true. So, this is wrong. So, choose the correct option. The correct answer for this question is, it is option number 3, statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Now, moving on to next question number 33. So, thalassemia and sickle cell anemia are due to a problem in globin molecule synthesis. Clear? So, select the correct statement. Sickle cell anemia is due to quantitative. So, this statement is wrong. It is the qualitative. So, sickle cell anemia is the qualitative, whereas thalassemia is the quantitative. Thalassemia quantitative, sickle cell anemia is qualitative. So, if I look at the first statement, sickle cell anemia is due to qualitative. This is wrong. Next, second option, both are due to qualitative defects in globin chain synthesis. Both of them are not because of qualitative. So, hence this statement is also wrong. Both are due to quantitative defects in globin chain synthesis. So, this is also wrong. Next, thalassemia is due to less synthesis. So, less synthesis meaning what can I say? It is the quantity. So, it is the quantitative, less synthesis of globin molecules. So, hence answer for this question is, that is option number 4, that is thalassemia is due to less synthesis of globin molecules. Now, moving on to the next question, that is question number 34. Who among us the following scientists had no contribution in the development of double helical model for the structure of DNA? This question is from molecular basis of inheritance. So, when you look at the options, Maurice Wilkins, option number 2, Rosalind Franklin. So, these two scientists, Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin, so they studied X-ray diffraction studies, X-ray diffraction studies, based upon which Watson and Crick explained the further concept. Messelson and Stahl, this is a scientist who are related to DNA replication process, and Ernest Chargaff, the one who proposed Chargaff's rule. Chargaff's rule. So, what does Chargaff's rule says? Base equivalence. Base equivalence, meaning nothing but the amount of or the concentration of purine is always equal to the concentration of pyrimidines. This is what Chargaff's rule. So, here Maurice Wilkins, Rosalind Franklin, X-ray diffraction studies, whereas Messelson and Stahl was for DNA replication process. Erwin Chargaff's, who gave Chargaff's rule, helps in understand. So, the scientist who had no contribution in development of DNA double helix was, it is option number 3, Messelson and Stahl. Answer is option number Next, moving on to the next question. In a DNA molecule, cytosine is 28 percentage. Calculate the percentage of adenine. So, as per the Chargaff's rule, so adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. So, this is totally equal to how much? Equal to 100 percentage. What's a percentage given in the question? So, cytosine. So, cytosine is given as 28 percentage. So, if cytosine is 28 percentage, obviously that is guanine will also be equal to 28 percentage. So, 28 plus 28, this is equal to 56 percentage. So, 100 minus 56, that is nothing but 44 percentage. This 44 percentage, it is A plus T. So, when I do the further 44 divided by 2, I will get it as 22 percentage, meaning, so adenine will be 22 percentage, thymine will be equal to 22 percentage. So, when I look at the options, 56 percentage, the question is to calculate percentage of adenine. So, adenine percentage is 22. So, option 1 is wrong. Next, option number 2, 36, this is also wrong. Looking at third option, that is 22 percentage, yes, this is right. Next, option number 4, 18, this is also again wrong. So, the percentage of adenine is 22 percentage. That's answer is option number 3. Next, moving on to next question. Arrange the below given steps of DNA fingerprinting in sequence by selecting the appropriate option. So, this question is from molecular basis of inheritance. So, for DNA fingerprinting processes, so there are following steps. The first step is isolation. First step, isolation. Next step is digestion. Next step is digestion. Next step is separation. Next step is blotting. And the next last step is, that is auto radiography. This is a correct order of steps involved in this DNA fingerprinting. Now, let me look at the options one by one. So, the first step, as what I was telling, is isolation. If you look at the option, so D, here you see the first one is DNA, isolation of DNA, which is the first step in this process. So, tracing out, the first one should be D. So, if I look at the options here, the first step is mentioned as A. So, this is absolutely wrong. Next, when I go to the next option, here it is mentioned as E. What is E here? It is separation. It is not, the first step is not separation, it is actually isolation. So, hence this is also wrong. Next, look at the third option, that is isolation. So, this is correct, and fourth option, if you see C, this is also wrong. So, it is easy, basically this question is time saving question where you can find it out easily. So, look at the options where you find D first. So, if I look at the 4 options, there is only one option citing with first D. So, hence option number 3. But however, first isolation, then followed by digestion, that is D, A, then followed by separation, as I told you there. So, D, A followed by E, then followed by blotting of DNA fragments to nitrocellulose membrane, that is C, and last step is the autoradiography. So, answer for this question is option number 3. Next, moving on to question number 37. Select the statement which is not true about Big Bang theory. This question is from chapter evolution. So, Big Bang theory explains the origin of universe. This statement is correct. It explains origin of universe. Next, as universe expanded, the temperature came down. Yes, as it got expanded, the temperature came down. This is also the true statement. Hydrogen and helium gases formed before the explosion. I repeat, before the explosion. This is the wrong statement. Hydrogen and helium were formed later, sometimes later after it. So, this is a wrong statement. The gases condensed under gravitational forces and resulted in formation of galaxies. So, this statement is also true. So, not a true statement about Big Bang theory. So, the correct answer for this question is option number 3. Hydrogen and helium gases formed before explosion is wrong. Next, according to Hugo de Vries, speciation is due to. The process of formation of new species is called speciation. So, this question is again from the chapter evolution. So, when I look at accumulation of small variations. So, according to Hugo de Vries, he was a scientist who was talking about the concept of mutations. So, accumulation of small variations, this is wrong, this is related to Darwin. Next, intraspecific breeding, this is also wrong, and interspecific breeding, this statement is also wrong. According to Hugo de Vries, speciation is due to saltations. So, what do you mean by saltation? Single step large mutations are called as saltations. So, according to Hugo de Vries, speciation is due to single step large mutations called as saltations. So, option number 4 is the correct answer for this question. Next, moving on to the next question. Arrange the correct order of stages in human evolution. Again, this question is from evolution chapter. So, there are different stages of human evolution that are mentioned here. So, we have to find out the correct order of them. So, to answer this, so we need to have a basic idea regarding the stages. So, what are those stages? So, starting with Dryopithecus. After Dryopithecus, what is the next stage? Ramapithecus. Dryopithecus, Ramapithecus, then followed by Australopithecus. Australopithecus. Next stage is Homo habilis. Next stage is Homo erectus. Next after Homo erectus is Homo sapien Neanderthal. Next after this it is the Cro-Magnon man, and the last one, that is the modern man. This is the correct stage of human evolution. Now, looking at this, let us try to solve this question. So, first stage is Dryopithecus. So, Dryopithecus is E. So, look at the options where you find E first of all. So, here it is C. So, you can eliminate it, gone. Next, if you look at here, E. So, Dryopithecus, next Australopithecus, next followed by Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthal. Next here it is D. So, again eliminated. Next, fourth, this is also eliminated. So, the correct answer for this question is, that is option number 2. So, it is basically a simple time saving question. Answer is option number 2. Next, moving on to next question. Pollen grains are well preserved as fossils because of presence of. So, it is a direct question, that is it is due to presence of sporopollenin. So, this sporopollenin is the hard resistant organic material. It is resistant to acids and alkalis. So, it is a direct question, it is option number 2, sporopollenin. Next, moving on to next question. Select the option that contains only secondary lymphoid organs. This question is from the chapter Human Health and Diseases. So, lymphoid organs, they are of two types. One is primary lymphoid organs, another one is secondary lymphoid organs. Examples of primary lymphoid organs are, one is bone marrow and thymus, whereas lymph nodes, tonsils, Peyer's patches, vermiform appendix, these are the examples of secondary lymphoid organs. So, when I look at the option spleen, this is example of secondary lymphoid organ. Tonsil, this is an example of secondary lymphoid organ, but when it comes to thymus, this is not. So, you have to select the option only which includes secondary. Next, lymph nodes, yes. Appendix, yes. Tonsils, yes. So, option number 2. Next, Peyer's patches, this is correct. Tonsils, this is correct, but bone marrow is wrong here. So, hence third option is wrong. Tonsils, correct. Thymus, wrong. Lymph nodes, wrong. So, the correct set which includes secondary lymphoid organs is option number 2, lymph nodes, vermiform appendix, tonsils and including spleen. So, option number 2 is the correct answer. Next, moving on to the next. Identify the biological response modifier substance which activates immune system and helps in destroying the tumors. This question is from Human Health and Disease. So, biological response modifier. So, when I look at the first option, histamine, which is produced by mast cells. Alpha interferon, yes, this is an example of biological response modifier which activates immune system and thereby destroying the tumors. This is correct. Third option, serotonin, which is again produced by mast cells. These two are produced by mast cells in response to allergy, whereas alpha lactalbumin, this was produced by first transgenic cow Rosie in 1997. So, this is basically to provide nutrition purpose, but not to activate the immune system. So, the biological response modifier which activates immune system and helps in destroying tumor is alpha interferons. These interferons are the part of cytokine barriers of innate immunity. So, answer to this question is option number 2. Next, question number 44. The conversion of milk into curd by LAB increases the nutritional value by producing. So, conversion of milk to curd increases the nutritional value of vitamin B12, which is a direct question. Vitamin B12. What is vitamin B12? Cyanocobalamin. Cyanocobalamin, which has different functions. One of that function is vitamin B12 is very much essential for maturation of RBC cells. So, hence option number 2 is a right answer. Moving on to next question. BOD of polluted water is estimated by measuring the amount of. First of all, what do you mean by BOD? BOD is nothing but biochemical oxygen demand. Biochemical oxygen demand. It refers to amount of oxygen consumed by microbe to oxidize the organic matter present in 1 liter of water. Present in 1 liter of the water. So when I look at the options, it is a total organic matter, it's not. It is oxygen evolution, it is not oxygen evolution, it is oxygen consumption. So this is also wrong. Next, moving on to oxygen consumption by microbe to oxidize organic matter present in 1 liter of water. So this third option is correct, biodegradable organic matter. So this is again wrong. So BOD refers to amount of oxygen consumed by microbe to convert organic matter present in 1 liter of water. So answer is option number 45. I hope you have enjoyed it. So now let me introduce my colleague Dr. Munish, who is a senior biology faculty. So welcome, sir.
Well, thank you, sir, for the introduction.
Right, thank you.
And myself, Dr. Munish, and I am senior lecturer here for RV Learning Hub. And moving on to this, let's start. So the question number 46, we all know this is from microbes chapter. So baculoviruses are pathogens that attack nematodes. First of all, nematodes is Escherichia, so statement is false. Baculoviruses are used as biological control agents in ecological sensitive areas as they are species specific. That means they are narrow insecticidal applications. So clearly the statement 1 is false but statement, so clearly we will go for the statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. Moving on to the next. Okay, so next question is techniques to alter the chemistry of genetic materials, DNA and RNA, and to introduce these into the host organism and change the phenotype of the host. This question is from applications in biotechnology, and these are actually, they are asking you the principles of biotechnology. So there are two principles, genetic engineering and bioprocess, but this is more probably your genetic engineering. Okay, next question. As you can see, the restriction enzymes are mentioned. So this particular chapter is biotechnology principles and processes. And the question is restriction enzyme BAMH1 has its recognition site in tetracycline resistant gene of PBR322. Of course, it has here. Here is TET-R and here we have BAMH1. The first statement is definitely true. The E. coli having PBR322 with a desired DNA, if inserted at BAMH1 site, can grow in medium containing tetracycline. No, it cannot grow, because if you have inserted a desired DNA, it will lack the tetracycline resistant gene. So it cannot grow. So as we can say, what will be the answer? That is statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Moving on to the next. Okay. Very easy match the column type question. So let's understand. Visualization of DNA in gel electrophoresis, of course, ethidium bromide. Next, precipitation of DNA, that is spooling, that is by chilled ethanol. So it is third. Breaking of the cell wall of bacteria, because the answer has to be lysozyme. So I'll put lysozyme here. And the last, of course, when the mention of fungi is there, chitin cell wall. So chitin is enzyme. So with respect to this, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's understand what is 4, 3, 2, 1. So this will be my answer. Moving on to next. 50. The human protein obtained from transgenic animals used to treat emphysema is, of course, alpha-1 antitrypsin. The chapter is applications of biotechnology. And the answer is this, third option. Okay. Very important, again, applications of applications of biotechnology. This is a chapter. Given below are the sequence of events in the production of human insulin. So let me tell you what are the steps. First step is this. preparation of 2 DNA sequences corresponding to chain A and B of human insulin. Then what we are going to do? Then we are going to introduce this into the plasmids of E. coli. After that, we are going to produce chains A and B separately, and after that we have to create disulfide linkages between these two chains. So the answer will be A, C, B, D, that is this option. Next, again, so lot of weightage on biotechnology, right? So applications of biotechnology. Statement 1, adenosine deaminase is very crucial for the immune system to function, right? It is a very important enzyme for our immune system to function, so it is a true statement. But adenosine deaminase deficiency can be cured by bone marrow transplantation. Look at the word only. Can it be only cured by bone marrow transplantation, or it can be cured by some method of gene therapy, enzyme replacement therapy? So this statement is false because we have another methods also. So this is statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. So option number 3. Question number 53, that is, which of the following is not correct with reference to the exponential growth model? So let me take you to this curve. This is my carrying capacity. Let's understand this. The very first statement, resources are limited. No, resources have to be unlimited if the growth has to be exponential. So the very first statement itself is incorrect statements. So I'll go with this. Population grows in a geometric function. Of course, it keeps on increasing. A stationary phase is never reached. Why? Because that is the condition for our log growth curve model. Next, population grows beyond carrying capacity. Of course, this is my carrying capacity. It is going beyond. Question number 54, very easy. So this particular question is from organisms and population, right? And as we can see, this is stable. This is declining, and this one is what? Expanding. So with respect to that, stable, declining, expanding, option number 3rd. Moving on to next. Which one of the following option represents the steps of decomposition in sequence? So this particular question is from ecosystem, right? So what are the steps for fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification and mineralization? And the topic from which it is asked is decomposition. So these steps are really very important, that is fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification and mineralization. So I go with option number 2nd, and this question was from the chapter ecosystem. Moving on to next. The annual net primary productivity on land and ocean respectively are dash and dash. Very easy but little tricky they have done it. So as per NCERT, what I am going to do, we know that the total biosphere productivity is what? Around 170. Out of which I know the ocean. Ocean is what? 55. When I am going to do 170 minus 55, I am going to get 115. So the answer is 115 of the land, respectively what? So ocean ka 55. So oceans is 55. Okay. In a practical examination, the below given pedigree chart was given as spot for identification. The students identified the pedigree chart as, it is of course autosomal dominant because of generation 1, generation 2 disease detected, generation 3 disease detected, plus the male and females are equally affected. So this is autosomal dominant, and this is a very important pedigree diagram as mentioned in our very important book, that is NCERT, and this question is usually coming from the one very important chapter, principle of inheritance and variations. Moving on to next. Okay, given below are two statements. First of all, this we need to understand, this question is from biodiversity and conservation. And what is, there is less species biodiversity in tropical latitudes than in temperate regions. Is it? No, there has to be more species. So this statement goes sorry, this statement goes false. And of course, tropical environments, unlike temperate ones, are less seasonal, relatively more constant and predictable. So these are the conditions for the tropical biodiversity. This is true. So what will be my answer? My answer will be statement 1 is false, but statement 2 is true. Moving on to next. 59th question. A student was given a bisexual, actinomorphic, pentamerous, gamocephalous and gamopetalous with the 5 stamens in apipetalous condition and bicarpellary syncarpous superior ovary. By just examining and figuring all these characteristics, we have come across through this particular floral family in our practicals also, and this is none other than our Solanaceae, that is option number 4. Last question. So this particular question is from your chapter Cell Cycle and Cell Division. Let's read it. A student was asked to identify a permanent slide of mitosis. They have mentioned it as mitosis. He made the following observations: splitting of centromere and formation of daughter chromatids. So as soon as the splitting word comes, anaphase comes into our mind. Chromatids are migrating towards the opposite poles. So see, first splitting, then of course second case they have given you migrating towards the opposite pole. So this is none other than my anaphase. So here I go. Well, thank you for watching and listening to us with such a huge patience. I wish you all the very best for your results, and please do like, comment, share and subscribe us. And please subscribe us for more videos and stay tuned. Thank you so much. Thank you.